The first presenter, the entry ID is 4634, and the presenter, the young MV person, is Shreya Bhave. Over to the presenter.
You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Just a moment. Can you see my screen?
Okay. Yes, we can see the screen.
All right.
Thank you.
May I start?
Yes, you can start. Your time starts now.
Tech paranoia, a fear of the very creation made by us. It's almost like living in an episode of Black Mirror. Aren't we getting there anyway? Today, I, Shreya Bhave, am here to present to you how to crack that Black Mirror and use tech for good. Coming from a generation who are glued to their phones, we have exposed ourselves to social media and seek constant validation by the number of followers, likes, comments, and shares. Unfortunately, this interaction has also led to harsh comments, trolls, and memes, and caused mental agony. But most of us refrain from raising our voice against such behavior. To drive an inherent behavioral shift by taking the first step towards it, Cadbury Dairy Milk introduced Purple Heart, a symbol against cyberbullying. Let me show you how taking a stand against cyberbullying was only a click away.
Standing up for the cyberbullied through a simple purple heart emoji. To nudge people to take action, we made the pain felt on the other side of cyberbullying visible. We came up with an industry-first idea that turned the viewers of our Heart the Hate videos into a real-time witness of cyberbullying. If the viewer ignored or skipped the ad, they are shown another ad where the victim is again cyberbullied, facing mounting anguish. This went on till they chose to click on the corner white button of the video to post a purple heart for the victim in the ad. We brazenly tailed them till they broke their silence and took a stand against cyberbullying. We created many more stories that showed the different forms of cyberbullying. These were based on our viewers' areas of interest to garner empathy. We reached our consumers on apps where they were most present.
To put the bystanders in a similar situation, I helped identify 9 cohorts on social platform most used by the youth and model the industry-first sequential ads that through customized communication. To do this real time, I planned media to prioritize frequency at a higher exposure to display the escalated ads to those who did not take an action, and also replicated this on Facebook using the innovative poll ads. The efficiency of the model resulted in a 3.5 times higher CTR over benchmark and phenomenal outreach of the message. While tech has fueled anonymity, it also enabled 3 million strangers to stand up for another stranger. Tech has also equipped someone sitting comfortably in their homes to support a cricket-crazy young girl with just one tap on the mobile phone. Women's cricket receives significantly less attention compared to men. And as a sports person myself who went to school promoting inclusive sporting, I understood the lack of opportunity and the spotlight. To bring a paradigm shift in the society, Cadbury Dairy Milk reimagined its own ad to acknowledge the unacknowledged. Here's how the wheels turn with Good Luck Girls.
Dairy Milk, a brand that stands for generosity, decided to address this gender inequality and acknowledge the unacknowledged by using its own iconic ad of 1994. In 2021, we recreated it shot by shot, except with a powerful gender twist. The nationwide integrated campaign release was timed with the women's cricket team leaving for a tour. But more importantly, it has led to a tie-up between Cadbury and Magic Bus to make sports accessible to thousands of girls. Because every little girl should grow up feeling acknowledged and powerful.
This was followed by the Kid Day India initiative, which encouraged people to support underprivileged girls by donating sports kits. I applied the principle of performance marketing for this donation drive and leveraged tech to build a microsite and drive action from within the sporting community by nudging them to donate a kit or their own pre-loved sports good to these girls. While tech doesn't aid human connections, it aided support digitally to positively impact the lives of 40,000 young girls. In recent times, tech has also accelerated online retail and digital transactions, but at the same time, push the local Kirana store owners in your neighborhood to take a backseat. So, Cadbury Celebrations dedicated its marketing budgets to the countless small business owners who had no digital presence and got Shah Rukh Khan to be their brand ambassador with just one click. Here's how the marriage of tech, data, and creativity helped us move from just storytelling to storytelling.
Cadbury Celebrations, not just a Cadbury ad. This Diwali, we helped hundreds of small businesses by making India's biggest brand ambassador be their brand ambassador.
इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास वाले फैशन नोवा एम्पोरियम से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना।
We used machine learning to recreate Shah Rukh Khan's face and voice to take the local store names in the ads.
इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास वाली चॉइस ऑफ फैशन से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना। पास वाले आजकल फैशन से ही, रॉयल फैशन से ही, एनके क्लॉथ्स से ही, पास वाली लक्ष्मी कलेक्शन से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना। इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास।
Different versions of the same ad with local store names were targeted as per the PIN code of the viewer, showing them only the nearby stores. But it is impossible to cover all the stores. So we gave the power to the people to create their own version of not just a Cadbury ad. Any small business owner could promote their stores through their own social media networks like WhatsApp forwards and other social media pages.
Working closely with the AI development team, I assisted in automating the entire data flow process, from retailers' information to mapping creatives to the PIN codes, and finally setting up, reviewing, and activating all 1,500 campaigns. I also ensured a seamless user journey on the microsite to give the power to the small business owners to leverage our tech and create their own version of the ad with SRK as the face. Tech is a mirror, and seeing it as white or black is in our hands. My personal experiences have taught me to fight, wade through obstacles, and stand up for myself. Applying the same spirit to my profession, I feel I have managed to use technology for good to contribute to society at large. And I'm thankful to Cadbury for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. The next presenter, entry ID is 4654, Megha Mittal. Over to presenter.
Hi, everyone. I'll just share my screen.
Sure.
Just give me a second. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Can you hear and see me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, I can start.
Yeah, your time starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Megha Mittal, the culture expert for Mondelez. I go looking for the cultural angle for the campaigns, which will emphasize and beautifully connect with the audiences to create brand love. With Mondelez, I got opportunity to tap into two big culturally relevant phenomena that drive audiences of the nation, that is, young love and cricket. For the first campaign, we provided a new twist to the culture of hidden love. We have all seen romantic Bollywood movies and its grand gestures, a protagonist going to great lengths to express their love. This is exactly what drives our TG, to go far for love. Youngsters go to great lengths to hide their relationships, from hiding the social media account to saving numbers with different names. The trials and tribulations of young love are endless. Using this insight, we introduced Cadbury Silk's unique campaign, Silk Secret Messages, elevating from how far will you go for love to how far will you go to make them blush secretly. Silk launched an industry first innovation using its limited edition pack. We used the power of AR for couples to send hidden messages that could only be seen by the recipient. Let's have a look.
Well, we have a 16-year-old son.
Can you guys hear the AV?
Yes, we can. Don't worry.
Well, we have a 16-year-old son. Girlfriend? No. He's too young for that.
Only studies and sports.
Yeah. I mean, we think that career comes first. He will have lots of time for romance later. Thanks to this mindset of Indian parents, most young romances turn into secret romances. On Valentine's Day, Cadbury Silk, a brand that stands for Young Love, used AR to turn every silk ad into a declaration of love. Cadbury Silk presents Secret Messages. The sender simply scanned a silk pack, typed a cute message, and pressed send. The receiver simply pointed their phone at any silk ad, and voila! The ad turned into the secret love message, which only they could see. Billboards, print ads, posters, and even TV ads could be scanned to reveal the secret message. And no parents objected, as none of them could see it.
Success of an idea heavily depends on successful execution. Hence, I played an important role in identifying the right platforms that will drive awareness and consideration and scale across different mediums: social, audio, video, display. Additionally, 7 partners were identified to collect first-party data for the brand for future engagements, thus ensuring that each touchpoint works towards generating sales and maximizing ROI for the brand. Campaign helped young lovers to deliver 1.5 million secret messages, driving 27% sales growth versus previous year and generating 1.5 million earned PR. Moving to the second campaign, where we provoked the audiences to acknowledge the unacknowledged. For over a decade, Cadbury Dairy Milk has grown on the back of Kuch Meetha Ho Jaye. And we had already embarked on the next phase of growth, moving from being marker of happiness to maker of happiness. We learned that a typical Indian, while not thankless, tend to thank less. Cadbury Dairy Milk had already commenced the journey of melting the implicit power distance by encouraging Indians to say thank you. The key challenge was how to exceed the stellar business and brand results we had already seen for 2 years of thank you. For this, we needed scale. We all know that in India, there is no religion that is bigger unifier than cricket. Let's have a look.
In a cricket-obsessed nation like India, cricketers get all the love and attention from everyone. But the ground staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes go unacknowledged. So this cricketing season, let's celebrate the ground staff too. Introducing Cadbury Dairy Milk, proud sponsors of the ground staff. A sponsorship that pampers, indulges, and treats the ground staff just like the stars.
With Cadbury, provide the ground staff with something designer, something cool, something that also makes them feel like superstars.
From designer uniforms to the best hotel. From their nutrition and fitness to their daily commute. All taken care of. From the start of the cricketing season to the end of it.
अच्छा लगता है पूरी टीम एक साथ है बहुत गर्व फील हो रहा है कि हम भी देश के लिए कुछ करते हैं
This cricketing season, let's celebrate the ground staff too, the unacknowledged superstars.
Additionally, in a unique gesture, Star Sports replaced some of the typical pre-match coverage of our IPL teams and players with never heard before stories of ground staff. I helped drive associations with on-ground partners and ensured smooth execution of the campaign. Ideated with network partner to provide relevant content integration opportunities and scale up the campaign with relevant platforms. Sales went up by 45%, along with the growth in penetration by 690 basis points. Phenomenal growth in some crucial brand scores, such as awareness and consideration, and an earned media volume valued at $1 million. A day after IPL 2022 concluded, BCCI announced a prize money of 1.25 crore rupees for the curators and groundsmen across the 6 venues that hosted IPL edition. Additionally, the Mumbai Cricket Association also announced 1 lakh for each of the 48 ground staff employed by them during IPL. Moreover, individual cricket influencers had begun to spontaneously acknowledge the efforts of the ground staff. To conclude, my inherent knowledge of various cultural nuances and my interest to leverage it in being successful campaigns for the most loved chocolate brand of India drove cultural shift within our audience by sustaining young love and, most importantly, acknowledging the unacknowledged. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can announce the next presenter.
Yeah. Okay, the next presentation, entry ID 4626, and the presenter is for Young Envy, Naomi Desai Shah. Over to presenter.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm good to go. Let me know when I can start.
You can start. Your time starts with August.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. The constantly evolving world of media can be overwhelming. It's like being inside the matrix. Where we can take the blue pill and remain content with what we have without questioning anything, or challenge our beliefs and evolve by taking the red pill. In this constant battle of choice between the blue and the red pill, people often choose the blue pill and be content as they assume that change with red will be difficult. And that's the myth I'm here to break. Who said that taking the red pill needs to be difficult or even serious? Why can't change be fun? Hi, I'm Emvies Shah, and I'm here to share my experiences of how I chose the red pill on 3 instances to revolutionize media using tech and a simple human insight. People love to have fun. The first instance, Cadbury 5-star. Post launching the Do Nothing brand proposition in 2019, Cadbury 5-star was stuck in the loop of following the standard media approach of launching a new thematic followed by sustenance, almost as if they were operating in a pre-programmed simulation. However, Gen Zs won't just do something because you ask them to, even if it is to do nothing. And when 5-star launched Nothing Coin, we wanted to ensure that we don't get into the same old method and instead use the power of media like nobody's ever done before. Let me show you how.
5-star presents Nothing Coin. The first ever digital coin that turns your chilling into a currency. So if you think cryptos are the future, say hello to the future
of the future.
My role in this campaign was twofold: identifying the right media partners and working with cross-functional teams to test the crypto-like functionality of the microsite, along with its user-friendliness and foolproof mechanism by blocking a second screen. Secondly, helped identify 15 plus media partnerships to ensure the campaign received maximum scale and was liaising between the brand, media partners, creative partners, and influencers to ensure error-free delivery. To measure the campaign effectiveness, I also mounted the Google Ads Data Hub study, a Mondelez global first pilot. The results: 6.6 million Nothing coins mined, over $30,000 worth of Nothing coins redeemed across e-com platforms, giving 5-star a 30% sales growth. This intervention ensured that we didn't preach, but made Gen Zs do nothing. And the second time, I was summoned by PERC to enable them to get the youth to take it live, because post the pandemic, people's time spent on the internet was on the rise. And so was the cancel culture. With free internet and a place to express, people got offended on the silliest of things. Cadbury PERC launched PERC Disclaimers, a campaign wherein we hijacked trending YouTube videos with a parody disclaimer with tongue-in-cheek humor appearing right before the video. Actually, let me not bore you with screenshots and let me show you how we did it.
So it can be
Contains scenes of graphic violence against carrots.
Make them into 6th or 8th, depending.
The idea to provide quirky disclaimers in itself is positively provocative, and hence it was important to ace the execution and provide the desired scale. Digital platforms have a plug-and-play solution to target people basis their interests. However, we had to find something that offends them. Together with Google, we reverse engineered the journey back to the origin, and India's first custom API solution was created to identify trending topics. We further automated the mundane task of identifying the trending videos, real-time ad creation, campaign setups, and activation, thereby increasing the campaign scale by 20 times, and it delivered phenomenal results. As Cadbury PERC witnessed a 20% increase in its sales, highest ever quarter-on-quarter growth, and the campaign got media coverage worth $500,000. Having helped the youth do nothing and take it light, I was called over by Cadbury Lickables, a product plus toy combo. A combo that has helped brands to drive sales for years. However, with the advent of tech, kids were exposed to a lot better toys, digital games, and activities. The physical toys that were bundled with products weren't appealing to the kids anymore. Thus, Cadbury Lickables launched PlayPad, a first-of-its-kind edtech platform for kids clubbing learning with fun. It gives them access to rich interactive experiences such as augmented reality and gaming. But the real challenge was in reaching out to the kids. As we abide by the no marketing to kids policies, the avenues usually used by brands to promote were not available to us. Hence, my role was to think outside the box and look for newer avenues. Even create a custom solution, leveraged tech partners to co-create custom API, action-owned audiences, and co-created beta with newer partners, and consistently track the performance, user behavior, and simultaneously making data-driven decisions to deliver 7 million plus app installs in under 3 months, clocking 13 million plus app sessions and delivering 40% sales growth. On a closing note, I would like to leave you with the same choice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. The next young MB presenter, entry ID is 4649, Lakshada Dali.
Give me a moment to just set it up.
Sure.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just start.
Yeah, your time starts now. All the best.
Thank you. Good afternoon, judges. My name is Lakshada Dali, and I am the 11 of the Netflix team. 1 minute, it is just my screen is stuck. Just a moment.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I'll start again. Good afternoon, judges. My name is Lakshada Dali, and I'm the 11 of the Netflix team. Did you recognize her? That was 11, the main protagonist from Stranger Things. She went beyond her capacities to save the town Hawkins and protect her friends. She was born with a vast array of supernatural abilities. Now let me ask you, what skills do you look for in a media planner? Strategic thinking, media planning, consumer insights, innovation, and execution excellence. Just like how Stranger Things had an upside down world where a mysterious monster ruled the parallel dimension, similarly, our world too had turned upside down during COVID. As the pandemic stuck, shoes were stalled, leaving TV and cinema to go to no new content to offer. OTT became the preferred choice of content viewing. This cluttered the media space with the high decibel campaigns as all OTTs tried to grab consumer share of mind and wallet. In a situation like this, where I had to operate in an upside down world, my key goal was to make Netflix the buzziest brand in India and drive growth. As a planner, while I had all these skills, I needed additional powers to go the extra mile and fight these challenges. I used my first power of distract, divert, and engage. With the launch of Money Heist, it was our last chance to capitalize on this IP, and it was the finale season. A consumer insight said, when a message is served unexpected, one pays much higher attention to it. So I decided to catch consumers' attention by paying a path of distraction and launched a heist approach: distract, divert, and engage. Let me show you how
We
I
started the heist with a bang. We used the iconic Bella Ciao anthem and gave it an Indian twist on print. We turned the front page of Hindustan Times into a collectible with cutouts of the Money Heist characters that could be pulled out and used as stickers, literally bringing the beloved characters into people's homes. When social media fan pages and PR machinery went abuzz as Ayushmann Khurrana suddenly confessed his love for Money Heist and claimed to be the biggest fan. In an Indian avatar of the professor, he sang his version of the anthem Jaldi Aao and invited the rest of the Indian fans in Sabse Bada Fan Contest on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. Through a host of innovations on large billboards and digital OOH, we gave the audience enough distraction to generate talkability. For the on-the-fence viewers and the late viewers, we curated the Money Heist crash course with filter copy, which would help them understand various aspects of the show before the season finale, so they too could jump on the bandwagon. The results were record-breaking. Overall, there was a 43% increase in viewership of the show, with over 40% watching the regional dubs. Sentiments for the show were extremely positive, making this the most searched show in India. Netflix monthly active users increased by 3 times, and the app downloads spiked by 14% in December 2021.
Then I used my second power and came up with the out-of-syllabus media strategy to promote the next title launch, Quota Factory. Quota Factory is a show that highlights the challenges faced by students in India's highly competitive education system. The show aims to depict the harsh realities of the rat race and immense pressure that comes with it. Season 1 of Quota Factory was on YouTube, while Season 2 was going to launch on Netflix. Hence, I wanted to create awareness amongst the fans and establish Netflix as the new destination for Quota Factory Season 2. I'm sure we all know that लाइफ के एग्जाम में सबका क्वेश्चन पेपर अलग होता है. उसी तरह मीडिया प्लानर की लाइफ में हर एक कैंपेन के लिए चैलेंजेस भी अलग होते हैं. New challenges required me to use my new superpower with which I launched the out-of-syllabus media strategy. Let me take you through the AV.
With the plot of Quota Factory revolving around engineers, we leveraged Engineers Day and collaborated with 30 real-life engineers turned influencers who shared black and white selfies on Instagram and Facebook along with their life lessons and struggles of their engineering life. It all started with a single tweet from Netflix India handle. If you had a chance to ask Jeetu Bhaiya for advice, what would you ask? This sparked a tweet fest. People's questions were met with responses in the character's quintessential style. And soon, hashtag Jeetu Bhaiya OP was trending at #1 within minutes across the country. To amplify this further, we leveraged Quora in the most unique format, answering some of the most popular questions regarding IIT preparations through quirky answers written from the perspective of Jeetu Bhaiya. We widely distributed these answers to our target audience through the Promoted Answers feature on Quora, making it one of the most engaging pegs of our overall out-of-syllabus strategy. The campaign led to a 6-time increase in Netflix Quota Factory association compared to YouTube.
My third power was RRR. Reach people with relevant emotion for the right reaction. I leveraged these powers for the launch of Navrasa. Mani Ratnam's Navrasa, meaning 9 emotions, brought together 45 leading names of Tamil film industry. At any given point of time, humans are going through several emotions. One tends to choose things from the universe that resonates with your emotion at that time. We took this insight and designed our media approach, RRR, reach people with relevant emotions to generate right reaction.
Hearts and minds of our target audience, we knew that we had to speak their language, the language of emotions. And to do so, we created a 9-day run-up with each day dedicated to a different emotion. To announce the arrival, we chose the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. An industry-first innovation, we released 9 consecutive front-page jacket ads in leading Tamil newspapers. A partnership with 9 of the biggest Tamil YouTube influencers, where each influencer was assigned an emotion that aligned with their online persona. In addition, we created an AR filter that showcased the name of an emotion, inviting users to capture a picture while displaying the corresponding expression. Results, Navrasa made it to the top 10 on Netflix in 10 countries.
Results across all the 3 campaigns were phenomenal. Monthly active users increased by 15 to 70%, garnered 15 million plus engagements with a multimedia reach of 70 to 80% at OnePlus. And this is how I walked an extra mile and used my powers to make Netflix the buzziest brand. Thank you, judges, and thank you, Act Club.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, the next presenter, entry ID is 4615, and the young present is Aditya Ujas Sharma. Over to presenter.
Hi, I'll just take a moment to set everything up.
Sure.
Hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Great, I'll start then.
Hi everyone, I hope y'all are having a good day. I am Aditya's avatar, AI Aditya, and I'm here to set up some context for Aditya's work and how he took the road less traveled. It's the age of digital commerce. Be it e-commerce or D2C, the growth figures are crazy, with biggest of the brands shifting their focus towards digital commerce. But with great commerce comes great data. It may be data on audiences, ad spends, inventory, or just anything. Aditya's team realized that despite the tremendous amounts of data, there was a huge gap in measuring it. Be it identifying performance drivers, forecasting or optimizing sales, or even understanding the audiences. There was limited measurement to utilize this data to improve the brand KPIs. Hence, the road of measurement was the one less traveled. To address this, the team divided its focus under 3 pillars: people, platform, and product. Under people, the team developed a method to understand the consumers in a very statistical and analytical way, and the insights were used by Mondelez's Joy Deliveries to rocket up their sales. Under platform, a tool was developed to measure the attribution of different marketing activities towards Amazon sales for Bourneville. And under product, the team understood the product correlations for MTR's D2C to finally boost up their average order values. Now Aditya, the man himself, will take you through the crux of the solutions.
Hi, everyone. I hope my AF did justice to setting up the context right. I'll start with the first solution that came under the people's pillar that helped us maximize value from the customers for Cadbury Joy Deliveries. Now, all customers are unique with different potentials to provide to the brand in terms of revenue, loyalty, acquisition costs, etc. The need was to have a good understanding of these gradients among the customers. And that's what me and my team solved for. Using data from customers' data platforms, CRMs, and their website activities, we came up with a two-phase solution: a recency frequency monetary value analysis topped with a customer lifetime value analysis. So the first phase was recency frequency and monetary value analysis. Now, recency means how recent was the customer's last purchase. Frequency means how frequently the customer purchases from the brand. And monetary value means how much revenue has the customer contributed to the brand till now. 3 very simple metrics, but a combination of these gave us a very wholesome picture of each customer. For example, we identified the best and the most loyal customers, and we targeted them for upselling with personalized ads for upselling. We identified new customers with high purchasing power and targeted them with the objective to retain them. And we identified the churn customers who were high spenders once. The objective was to bring them back. Next up, consumer lifetime value. Using statistics and machine learning, we very accurately predicted how much revenue or profit each customer is going to contribute to us in the coming month. And you can see the kind of tabular output we get. Now you see what we did. Phase 1 helped us analyze a customer's past, and phase 2 helped us predict the customer's future, giving us a very wholesome picture of every customer. The results: targeted campaigning basis these insights helped us in achieving our month's target in just 10 days of activation. And the revenue and the number of transactions increased by almost 100% month on month in the month of activation. The second solution under the pillar of platform was delivered for Mondelez's Bourneville. Now, Amazon, it happens to be a walled garden, which means it's not really possible to know what external factors cause sales on Amazon and how. Knowing these factors can help us optimally maximize the return on investment from Amazon. And the good news was we had access to Mondelez's marketing data, data on ad spends, and Amazon sales data for Bourneville. Using that, our team extensively utilized linear regression and statistical models to fit a very, very accurate sales forecasting model based on marketing efforts. And over and above the market forecasting model, we could measure the impact of each of the marketing channel on Amazon sales using figures like percentage contributions, channel-wise return on investments, saturation curves, etc. The results were amazing. Now, Mondelez could now see how their investments on different channels affected Bourneville sales on Amazon. And using those insights, we were able to increase Amazon sales of Bourneville by 50% just by optimally shifting the budget expenditure from one channel to the other. And of course, we gave Mondelez a model to foresee the approximate Bourneville sales they'll get on Amazon with different media plans and strategies. Moving on to the third pillar of products, we delivered a solution to MTR to look at this products from a very analytical lens. Having a large product catalog, MTR found the need to increase their average order values on their D2C platform. Now, increasing AOV meant appealing the consumer to purchase more in a single transaction. And that's where me and my team pivoted our solution. We had access to MTR's platform data ranging from its product data to invoice data, along with MTR's consumer data platform. And by using inferential statistics and unsupervised machine learning, we managed to deeply understand the product selling trends across geographies and target groups. We extracted several associations and correlations among different products and do a thorough market basket analysis. This analysis helped us in understanding the product buying trends in different regions of India, which products can be sold together, which products can be put on offers to maximize the revenue. And the results we got speak for themselves. We achieved the highest revenue in the month of activation as compared to all previous months, and increase in the average number of products bought per transaction was 1.6 times, which was huge. And of course, we managed to boost MPR's AOV by a staggering 1.7 times than the average AOV across all previous months. Now, to shed some light on myself, I am Aditya, and as the data science and digital analytics lead, I've led all the 3 projects, right from ideation to laying down the blueprints, to coding all the solutions, to report, to compiling all the reports, and then concluding it to the clients. I have been recognized as the rising star of the year by Exchange for Media, and me and my team have won several awards for the projects we've done for our unique solutions, again pivoted under our 3 pillars of people, platform, and product. We have seamlessly enabled our clients with the most unique data-driven approaches, solutions, and methodologies, and have consistently reported significant improvements in metrics like consumer retention, average order values, conversion rates, commerce revenue, etc. Collectively, with our clients, we have redefined commerce analytics, and we have just started. Thank you, and see you all on the big day. And of course, all the best to all the shortlists.
Thank you.
Please announce the next
Okay,
presentation.
the next presentation. Entry ID is 4656, and the young male presenter is Mayank Bharadwaj. Over to the presenter.
Hello, yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Let me allow me to present and share my screen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
One second.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Is it full screen mode? Can I start?
Yes. Your time starts. All the best.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mayank Bharadwaj, aka MMS, and I am here to present my entry in the category Young MV of the Year. Before you all think of MMS in a different way, let me give you a sneak peek into how the title MMS got added to my name. So here we go. What do you see here? A calendar, and what comes to your mind when you see one? Usually, people see the number of long weekends they can take, travel plans they can make, important festival dates, and so on. Here, this is where the difference is. What I usually see in a calendar are the right opportunities and moments and context to associate with my brand. When some new series gets announced, people generally go and add it to the watch list so that they can binge watch it later. And what I do is I add it to my brand's watch list. And I'm always on the lookout for opportunities and moments where my brand's proposition comes alive, leveraging the emerging media trends and pop culture. So that was all about me. Now, let me explain how all this comes alive in my set of brands, starting with case study 1, Oreo turns red. Over the last decade, brand Oreo has found its sweet spot in the lives of consumer to its distant playful moments. But this year, with the launch of our limited edition pack, Oreo Red Velvet, the message had to be scaled up in short time, and therefore we had to ensure there is enough buzz created. To create the buzz, we had to identify the correct moment, and I deployed my MMS framework, which combined magic of the brand, mind of the consumers, and source of conversations. While the brand message was very clear, limited edition Oreo turning red, We further deep dived and found social and OTT were the leading platforms for our consumers. And within that, the most talked about and trending topic was Stranger Things. This gave us a trend to ride on. It checked all the boxes. It fit the brand messaging. It was popular and the most talked about show. Let me show you how this came alive. 1 second. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yes.
but it's full screen. I mean, the notes and
Oreo's
everything.
launch of
I didn't get you, sorry.
Yeah, you can reshare it. I've stopped your timer.
Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Oreo's launch of limited edition and Stranger Things Season 4 came at an opportune time, one that could not be missed. And what can be something as strange as Stranger Things? We had the answer. Oreo changed its iconic black cookie into red by launching its limited edition red velvet cookies. Yes, you read that right. The campaign kicked off with a rift film between Oreo and Netflix. It was almost like dropping a trailer. In no time, the film got viral and PR started pouring in. Using an AI technology, we hijacked all the articles around Stranger Things and made the red velvet Oreo present everywhere. And we mean everywhere. To make the campaign widespread, a multi-channel approach was adopted. We even partnered with youth influencers to stir up a conversation and get more eyeballs. Not to forget the memes that flooded the internet. This is how Cadbury Oreo leveraged a pop show and took an upside-down approach to launch their product.
Let me tell you my contribution here. Managing logistics was the most difficult part here for the campaign as we were working against time. And I took up the role of an orchestrator and made sure each platform carried the right message during each phase. The results for this collab are here for you to see. While the results speak for themselves, MMS framework became my standard practice for all my future campaigns. Here is the second case study where my MMS framework comes alive. In a market that was just beginning to open up to the premium chocolate cookie segment, Choco Bakes Cookie was a small player with no product distinction. I, with my team, saw an opportunity with World Cookie Day and leveraged this moment in a differentiated way. We all knew that all brands in the category will bombard the social media with social media posts, but we wanted to wish with a twist. We applied my MMS framework yet again. Message was wishing consumers the World Cookie Day. We found social media and use of AR was the most popular medium among strategy. Eclipse Day that decided to give a miss to India was the most talked about. Bringing all this together, this gave us an idea to ride on. Cookie clips. This is how the campaign came alive.
December 4th, 2021. The world was going to experience a solar eclipse, but sadly, it decided to give India a miss, which meant millions of Indians were going to miss out on sharing this event on social media. However, December 4th also happened to be World Cookie Day. So, we got a little Cadbury-filled cookie to help all of India experience a never-before-seen astronomical marvel. With the first ever Choco Bakes Cookie Clips. We created a unique AR-based filter on Snapchat where people could eclipse the sun with a cookie. The filter used sky segmentation and got activated only against the sky on eclipse day. It had not just taken over the skies, but also screens everywhere.
अब हम इस कुकी से सूरज को ढककर इक्लिप्स को अपनी आंखों के सामने देख सकते हैं।
A sweet coincidence of 2 days overlapping became an unforgettable event that ensured the next time someone thinks of a solar eclipse,
My contribution here was to craft an out-of-box idea for the campaign and identify the right partners, spotting the trend that could deliver on scale as well as engagement. The results are here for you to see. We reached 1.6 million users and Tom and spont awareness for the brand increased by 6 pp. Staying true to my name, Moment Marketing Specialist, I would definitely not like to miss this moment and hear my brand plugin coming your way. Stay playful and thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. The next presentation. Entry ID is 4627 and the young army presenter is Mayur Gauri. Over to the presenter.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Let me know when to start.
You can start. Your time starts. All the best.
Hello judges, this is Mayur and I'm going to present my case study, one CDP to rule them all and one FPD to bind them. Yes, I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. CDP is a consumer data platform who is like the one true king who controls everything. And FPD is the first party data, that's the ring with which he controls. My fellow colleagues from the industry might have presented about campaigns, but what I'm going to present today is going to be at the core of every marketing campaign to be deployed in coming years. As you already know, cookies are the oil basis which anything on digital media works today. This provides us an opportunity to target audiences basis interest and target affinities. Google keeps announcing that they are going to block third-party cookies, and I'm sure it will happen soon. And with Android and Chrome being used by 90% of Indians, the remaining one are on iOS, which anyways has blocked cookies on their browsers. Hence, the first-party data is pivotal to how do we make a smooth transition to reaching out to specific audiences in a cookieless world. With third-party cookies going away, we are even more dependent on big platforms like Meta and Google for any kind of audience information, insights, and targeting. But the data signals that they have, even today, are not as niche as what we ideally want to target for our brands. The only solve is to upload our own specific audiences. Hence, it's very important for us to have our own first-party data centralized in one location, because that means that we have a control of the data and the people who we want to actually reach. Here is where CDP will be a solve to this issue going forward, especially in a cookieless world. Mondelez had embarked on the data journey, and that's why in the world of media planners and programmatic experts, I came to unlock the powers of CDP as an audience data specialist. This journey was full of adventures and hardship, just like the one where Frodo went on to Mordor. In this journey, I went through 3 movies. I mean 3 use cases. The case 1 is about how did we set up the CDP from scratch and in process upscaled our team. Just like the fellowship consisted of each person coming from different background, our data partners were collecting and storing the data basis their objective and goal. There was no set way to deploy the data on media platform. We focused on standardizing the process to make it replicable across data type we were collecting. So how did we do that? The first step was identifying the relevant consumer attributes. So for any digital consumer experience which we are deploying, I suggest the type of audience signals we can capture for data enrichment. The usage of proper taxonomy is extremely important for our data automation. I ensure that when we create audiences and deploy tests, we follow the defined taxonomy correctly. To build new use cases consistently, I work along with my team to analyze new data that's added to our CDP and develop new use cases accordingly. We also follow best practices so that our campaigns are executed correctly, and I keep on documenting the standards that we set for different platforms and provide guidance to teams. Further, I keep on exploring the CDP platform and read on documentation to look for newer features and test them. This exploration is the most fun part of my job. And of course, in the true spirit of being part of the fellowship, I help in training team members on the usage of new features of CDP. All of these help our team to transform from Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White, thereby becoming more wiser and more innovative. In case you have not followed any of the references I have shared till now of LOTR, in simple words, its CDP became an integral part of everyone's vocabulary in the system. Moving on back to LOTR. Just like Gollum loves his ring, marketers love data. But the story has always been about collecting data. But what to do with that data is also very important. And how do we do that? That's my second case. The audience frame. Like the 4 different hobbits have different personality, Mondelez brand's persona is totally different from each other. The need of consumer is different for each brand. Hence, we had to develop an audience framework which helps us identify the nuances and target with precision. To operationalize the CDP usage for every brand plan, I collaborated with respective brand teams and brand manager to identify the digital signal based on the objectives and goals the brand wanted to focus. I worked very closely with our media planners who were experts on Google and Meta ecosystems to get a complete understanding of how brands are being deployed on those platforms and what signals are they leveraging. Post that, I analyzed the CDP audiences, identified respective audiences for the brand, and also identified the gaps where brand wanted to target some signals, but the audiences were currently unavailable in the CDP. For audiences which were identified in the CDP, we also mapped personalized comm so that they can be deployed. This learning later was converted into a brand-specific audience playbook to get the info of addressable audiences specific to a brand persona. We got the data, mapped it with communication goal, and now it's time to test our hypothesis to check if the data performs. So how do we make sure this is going to work in test? That's my final case for the day, the testing framework. A robust test and learn methodology had to be developed to ensure that the use cases were thoroughly weighted before they were scaled for broader application. The test methodology needed to be grounded in statistics best practices as well as needed recommendation from media platforms. We needed a training document so that the teams who are concepting the test do it in the most accurate manner, including shaping the test hypothesis, expected business use case, the KPIs, etc. What we needed was an overall cultural change for agency team on how they plan audience usage. Just like Eye of Sauron keeps watch on everything, I keep a sharp eye on every stage of testing and learning framework. In test concepting, I usually help our client leadership team with new audiences that they can test for their brands. I help planners with audience sizing so they can right size the budget. In test ops, I help implementation team in porting audiences to Google and Meta platform and any other new platforms as well as including e-commerce. In test monitoring, I work with team to solve any mid-campaign problems of scale of audiences. In reporting and analytics, me along with my team work on analysis of test result and ensure proper methodologies are being followed to derive insights. I also share these test learnings with clients in multiple forums, including C-suites who all want to know about the data. These are the results we have achieved with our test. We have run around 1,000 plus tests across different platforms, and we have achieved 2x VTR lift and 3x VTR lift across those campaigns. And all these metrics are going up with each month along with the amount of work I do. Well, my adventure in this mythical world of data has just begun, and I'm excited to see how I can use this ring of power even more in the future. Thank you for listening. Thank you, jury members and Night Club.
Thank you.
Thanks. Can we have 2 minutes break? Because we are starting with the next category.
Yes, let's take a 2 minutes break until jury members can finish the scoring.
Okay, so we're starting with the presentations.
Yeah, just a moment, Smita.
Okay.
Yeah, Smita, we can start.
Okay, the next category is best response to COVID-19, and the duration will be 7 minutes per presentation. Starting with the first case study, the entry ID is 4815. The brand is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, GOI. Over to the presenter.
Hi, doing a sound check?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'll just share. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready to start.
Yeah, your time starts now. All the best.
Thank you. Good afternoon, jury. I'm Anjali, and today I'm not here to talk about a marketing campaign or a brand. Today, I'm here to talk about the battle for our survival, the battle for India's well-being, which was threatened by COVID-19.
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से अनुरोध है कि रिमोट बटन दबाकर विश्व के सबसे बड़े वैक्सीनेशन कार्यक्रम का औपचारिक प्रारंभ करने की कृपा करें।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji inaugurated the largest vaccine drive on January 16, 2021, calling it a landmark step in fighting COVID. He set the steep target of 1 billion vaccinations by December 2021. The media was very skeptical about this extremely ambitious target and set realistic expectations at 3.5 years from the date of the announcement. India is a diverse country, and the misinformation doing the rounds was also as diverse and complex. The second wave hit was lethal and struck terror into the hearts of the people. It was imperative to educate the masses on the facts, on vaccination, and on COVID-appropriate behavior. And all of this to be done yesterday. Now the question was, how will the government respond to the challenges? They set up a real-time data and content command center, the COVID War Room, and we became the COVID warriors of the National Media Rapid Response Cell set up at the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It was a team of analysts, strategists, creative, and content. We activated and leveraged all available platforms from media to community groups to advocacy. Individuals with voices, whether big or small, were pulled in to contribute to the fight. Healthcare and frontline workers, actors, health experts, singers, chefs, YouTube creators, all answered our call and jumped into the fray to unite to fight Corona. ANM और आशा दीदी से हमने बात की और कोविड और टीकाकरण के बारे में बात कैसे करनी है समझाया. We built a dynamic ecosystem where we did real-time data analysis and real-time content creation 20 hours a day through the week, 365 days a year. Live updates and alerts were shared with NMRRC, so immediate action could be deployed. We monitored data on an hourly, daily, weekly basis from urban as well as rural India, right down to the district levels, which gave real-time insights to the government officials. Our data layer enabled us to create relevant messaging, answer pain points, support states and union territories, and troubleshoot COVID concerns. We kept a strict vigil on India's concern areas around COVID to identify the key themes of worry by level of priority. We prioritized our efforts on states with high stress and aligned with state nodal officers on ground to understand the vaccination anxiety and hesitancy and support individual states' vulnerabilities. We optimized our efforts by contextualizing our communication, regions which were relatively slower and identifying areas of communication. 4,200 plus creatives were made on busting myths, urging vaccination, and instilling COVID-appropriate behavior. We focused on vernacular content, presented facts to counter the myths,
We launched tweet chats, COVID Charcha, Vaccine Varta, and live sessions with subject matter experts. By creating a robust repository, we empowered the citizens to be prepared for the worst. We pushed helplines to tackle mental health issues, amongst others. The results were outstanding. India's communication demonstrated the best response when compared to other countries' communication efforts and emerged as the leader. The performance on all social media platforms surpassed the global norms, as our numbers show on the slide.
भारत ने जिस तेजी से 100 करोड़ का 1 बिलियन का आंकड़ा पार किया है, उसकी सराहना भी हो रही है.
We accomplished the mission 80 days early and won the war against all odds. I don't think any other country in terms of fighting the largest pandemic or administering vaccinations came anywhere close to what India achieved. And I'm proud to say that we had a small role to play in it. Moving on to the AV.
A never-before pandemic ravaged the world.
The second wave of COVID infected millions across the world, causing widespread social and economic damage. As one of the most populous countries in the world, India suffered too. Millions of Indians battled COVID, misinformation, half-baked knowledge, and lack of cure. The arrival of COVID vaccines was a silver lining. However, a new set of challenges emerged too, which had to be dealt with at a national level. The government of India decided to inject hope in 100 crore citizens and help Indians overcome COVID and free themselves from misinformation and fake news all around them. Since speed is of prime essence in managing a global crisis, we leveraged the strength of real-time data sources to understand the issues at hand to deploy micro and macro communication strategies. We established a live data command center, a war room, to access social conversation 20 hours a day for 365 days and offer reaction in real time in 22 languages across 28 states with multiple ethnicities. We began to monitor and react to vaccine hesitancy and shortage. Our response was divided into multiple categories to sharpen focus and messaging like COVID-appropriate behavior, vaccine hesitancy, myths and misconceptions, psychosocial well-being during COVID, other emergent issues such as remdesivir, dosage interval, mucormycosis, etc. Media, including social, outdoor, community and mass, were used to seed and counter correct information, generate awareness about vaccine battle perceptions. The tools used were songs, videos, messages, tweets, reels, wall paintings, hoardings, on-ground activations, etc. of all kinds. Soon, a tidal wave of communication at all levels was created. We were able to counter misinformation, help reduce vaccine hesitancy, regenerate trust, increase vaccination, and address queries in a scientific manner. The results were outstanding. We achieved 1 billion vaccinations in 170 days as against the goalpost of 250 days. India is a country with many countries in it. But the humble effort of frontline workers, scientists, government officers, influencers, data and...
Thank you. Thank you. Over and out from the COVID war room. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Jai Hind. Okay, over to the next presenter. The entry ID is 4828 and the brand is Cadbury Celebrations.
Just give me a second. I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are able to see the full screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me know when I can start.
Yeah, you can start. Your time starts now. All the best.
Great. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Pratik Davda, and I'm here to tell you why Cadbury Celebrations once again spent crores of rupees to make an ad that was not just a Cadbury ad. Cadbury Celebrations is a gifting brand that thrives purely on occasions and festivals, with over 2/3 of the business coming from just Rakhi and Diwali. And a majority of that comes from small neighborhood stores, which look forward to festivals like Diwali for a windfall. But just a few months before Diwali in 2021 came the deadly second wave of COVID, where lakhs lost their lives and livelihood, bringing everything to a grinding halt. Even as things eased at the onset of festivals, none of the local stores got any footfall. I mean, we had faced a similar situation in the first wave in 2020, where even after the unlock, the consumer sentiment was weak because everyone was coping with grief. With the focus being only on essentials, the online Goliaths proved heavy discounts and won big, while the small retailers, on the other hand, struggled to make their ends meet. And that is why in 2020, we tried to help the small businesses by creating an ad that was not just a Cadbury ad. We leveraged the power of mobile to help thousands of small businesses come online, and we also advertised for them, urging for people to buy from the local stores. And the campaign delivered phenomenal results for celebrations and also for the small retailers. Now, while the campaign was extremely successful, we also learned a couple of things from the campaign. Firstly, the need for scale. Yes, we did cover thousands plus stores, but for every store we managed to cover, there were hundreds that we couldn't. Secondly, the shopkeepers now were managing majority of their businesses over WhatsApp, right from taking orders to giving delivery updates and even sharing promotional messages. Hence, we also needed to evolve as per them and give them promotional assets that they would feel proud to share within their circles. So this time around, we aimed to create a bigger impact and hence brought back not just a Cadbury ad with India's biggest superstar, Shah Rukh Khan. Naam to suna hoga. Well, we got SRK to be the face of countless small businesses across the country. We brought together data, creative, and technology at a hyper-local level to identify and partner with local stores from 5 of the most festive-dependent categories. And we fed this information real-time to the AI so that it could run the modeling and generate SRK's face movement and voice modulation to personalize the store names for every single store in every single ad. And we did this for a whopping 500 pin codes. And we activated this across 3 platforms, effectively setting up 1,500 campaigns. And mind you, we did this without spoiling Diwali for our team, as we fully automated the entire process, from passing on the retailer's information to mapping of the AI model to making the creatives for each location and category, and finally setting up, reviewing, and activating all of these 1,500 campaigns. And to provide scale, we gave the power to the people. We created a microsite for everyone to leverage our tech and create their own version of the ad, which would feature Shah Rukh Khan as their brand ambassador. Allow us to show you how we brought this to life.
Big businesses and brands that suffered during the pandemic found their way back, but the smaller stores still suffer.
This lockdown has been a real tough phase of my life. I mean, I have seen bad days, but this was the worst.
Last year, we helped small businesses through Diwali. So this year, we decided to bring it back. Presenting not just a Cadbury ad. This Diwali, we helped hundreds of small businesses by making India's biggest brand ambassador be their brand ambassador.
इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास वाले फैशन नोवा एम्पोरियम से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना और फिर एम्पायर फुटवेयर नाम तो सुना होगा अपना स्टाइलिश चश्मा बगल वाले हेवन आई ऑप्टिशियन से ही लेना सिद्धि विनायक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स से लेटेस्ट स्मार्टफोन खरीदकर धमाकेदार सेल्फी पोस्ट करना
क्या कर रहे हो मीठा लाए कि नहीं
लाया हो ना यार अपने पास वाले रोशन किराना से आप भी अपना मीठा वहीं से लेना
We used machine learning to recreate Shah Rukh Khan's face and voice to take the local store names in the ads.
इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास वाले चॉइस ऑफ फैशन से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना पास वाले आजकल फैशन से ही रॉयल फैशन से ही एमके क्लॉथ्स से ही पास वाली लक्ष्मी कलेक्शन से ही कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करना इस दिवाली आप भी ना अपने पास
Different versions of the same ad with local store names were targeted as per the pin code of the viewer, showing them only the nearby stores. But it is impossible to cover all the stores. So we gave the power to the people to create their own version of not just a Cadbury ad. Any small business owner could promote their stores through their own social media networks like WhatsApp forwards and other social media pages.
हमारे आसपास की जो दुकानें हैं उनकी दिवाली भी तो मीठी होनी चाहिए.
Cadbury celebrations, not just a Cadbury ad.
So what did we achieve? Apart from the smiles that you saw on the countless small businesses and their families, we covered over 500 pin codes, promoting 2,500 plus local stores through the ad alone. Furthermore, a whopping 130,000 plus ads were created by the people of India on their mobile phones. Well, and this also set new towering benchmarks for all clients across CPG, and also helped us save the business with spectacular rescue as we sold 33 million packs, giving us a 35% revenue jump. Oh, and we also garnered free PR worth $6 million. We were also happy to contribute in a small way as the All India Traders Confederation clocked a 74% increase in Diwali sales, the highest ever in a decade. And this was despite the huge slump pre-COVID. The campaign also won over 100 plus awards globally, 8 Grand Prix and India's first ever titanium at Cannes. And also inspired a few brands along the way with what we did way back in 2020. This campaign proved that a seed of an idea with the right intent to help people can be transformed with tech to impact the society at large, to recover from the pandemic, even if it's in a small way. Thank you.
Thank you. Next presentation, 4837, Budweiser, but for good.
Yeah, hi, I'm just setting it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Just a sec. I think my video is off. Yes. Yeah, I can start. Let me know if I can start.
Sure, you can start.
Yeah.
Time starts. All the best.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm here. Hi, this is Swati Garg. I'm here to present a case for how Budweiser did the campaign of Stronger Together and had a best response to COVID. I know, you all must think that being an Alcobev brand, why is my slide not moving? Sorry. Being the Alcobev brand, how can Budweiser, help the condition in the medical emergency? Because we believed as a Budweiser brand, we are more than just a brand about drink, but we are about social connections, about human connections. And I wanted to see that how can we actually use our resources, our marketing budgets, our talent, and help the nation in need. We all knew what we were going through. There was crisis everywhere, from hospital beds to supply of oxygen. There was a helplessness. The entire nation was suffocated. And in this context, our proposition of kings and seizing opportunity was completely irrelevant. However, we had a community on social media. We were a social connector. And that is what we wanted to leverage. What we understood and what we saw in the community was that the help came from anywhere. It was not just about your friend helping. We saw people coming on Instagram using this story as a platform to seek help and then further share. It became like, the entire nation came together to help anyone. It was about, boundaries were completely blurred. And there we saw an opportunity to find people, to help them. And how did we do that? We realized that, while the help was coming across all corners, it was very limited. I mean, the pleas were restricted to my friend sharing my plea, or I am sharing for someone's plea. It was a very restrictive model, and we had to ensure that pleas were reaching the right people the right amount of time. That was not happening. It was very restricted. What was our idea? We are known for a brand which brings people together, but this time, not for a chilled one. We wanted to bring people together to save each other. We wanted to connect people, to help them in need. And we just thought that as Budweiser, we had marketing budget in summers. We wanted to use them for a good cause, not just to increase our product share, but to help people. What did we do? We used a marketing team be it media, be it creative, be it social, we put them in a room together. They were huddled in a 24/7 war room. We scanned pleas which were hashtag like COVID emergency. The pleas were scanned day in and day out, and then they were verified. We verified them by calling people, by noting the location, by checking multiple times. And then what we did was we turned those pleas into ads because the ads could have been hyperlocal targeted. We used our marketing budgets to ensure that the ads were hyperlocal targeted within 5 kilometers of the entire please origin. I'll just quickly show you the AV. Let me know if the sound is coming.
No.
Okay, just a sec. Can you hear it now?
No.
Let me just share my screen again.
Yeah.
Now?
No, we cannot hear.
315,000 new infections, a record number, the highest daily figure anywhere in the world.
Among the top 5 states which are seeing a worrying surge in COVID cases, Maharashtra has seen over 6,000 cases in the last...
Essentially lost 25 patients just a few days ago because the oxygen supply ran out. And, I started off. We were not prepared.
Deaths hitting record highs, crematoriums.
With that, I actually want to leave with a very strong message that we saved 17 lives. As a brand, we can do so much. It doesn't matter which category, which genre we belong to. If we use our talent, our marketing first to right use, we can help people, we can save lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next presentation. Entry ID is 4805 and the brand is Tata Tea.
Yes, let us know once you can
Over
see
to
us.
presenter.
Yes.
We can see the black screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Hi.
Okay, just a moment. You can start. Your time starts now. All the best.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Aditi Patkar, and I'll be presenting the Jagori case study. India's immunization program is one of the largest ones in the world. Yet, even with the best laid out plans, we must acknowledge that vaccinating everyone was an enormous task. The program ran through the government-sponsored CoWIN app, which required digital access as well as literacy. The digital divide existed between privileged individuals and families that have the necessary technology and those that don't. And as a result, the vaccination process exposed us to a systemic healthcare inequity that appeared to favor the privileged ones over the ones who are less fortunate. Honestly, we can't be entirely dependent on technology for critical interventions in public health. To add to this dilemma, closer to home, Usha Didi, My 37-year-old domestic help said that she knew she had to mask up. She knew she had to wash her hands thoroughly, but gets vaccinated. She asked, how does one do it? What is a COVID app? What happens when I get vaccinated? And like Usha Didi, there were many such helps who had similar questions and reactions to this initiative. They all knew that it was important to get vaccinated, but they were very apprehensive due to lack of knowledge, no technology understanding, and no money. No one's safe until everyone's safe. That was our war cry. And that got us thinking at Tata team that these individuals, which are our helps, our security guards, our gardeners, our cooks, who have been the necks of our homes, they are the ones who bring us our morning cup of tea, open the gates for us, fix things at our homes, and even take care of our babies when we go to work. So it was our time this time to return the favor. So we inspired and enabled the people of India to promote positive communication for the vaccine and help their helps by calling it Is Baar Sabke Liye Jagori, which actually meant that educating them of the facts about vaccination and busting myths, assisting them in securing registration document, booking a slot, helping them sponsor a vaccination, help them reach the vaccination center, take care of all their nervousness while you do it, motivate your friends and families to do the same. Tata Tea Jagori has always been synonymous for evoking social issues by not just initiating conversations, but also ensuring due actions. The power of Jagori lies in unleashing the action taken by the common man that can collectively trigger a larger change. Here, the entire campaign was built on the back of influencers. With budgets being scarce and no expectations for ROIs for the brand, Tata Tea employed advocates who are the agents of change, basically mom influencers, as they are generally the first point of contact for all house help, and celebs to establish credibility by increasing awareness, trust, and familiarity. Our AV now will help you visualize this campaign better and will also cover the results. Can we have the AV, please? There is no volume.
No.
Yeah.
Can you, pause your timer just.
Sure.
Let me know now, please.
Yes.
To fight the pandemic crisis, India produced vaccines at a record time and launched a Vaccine for All initiative.
भारत में दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा टीकाकरण अभियान शुरू होने जा रहा है.
But not all were participating in it.
The vaccine rollout plan in this country, viewers, and created the deepest class divide.
Majority of Indians, especially those from the lower income groups, were affected the most.
पता नहीं है कैसे लगवाएंगे सुई, कहाँ कैसे पता चलेगा, कौन बताएगा कहाँ लगाना, ये सब पता नहीं है, तो कैसे लगा ले, लेकिन खरीद कम नहीं लगा सकते, इतने पैसे नहीं है हमारे पास.
This situation was a tough one. The vastness and diversity of our country had made things even more difficult. With the goal of inspiring India to lend support to their helping hands, Tata Tea Jagore launched an initiative to inspire individuals and families to take along their staff like house helps, security guards, cooks, nannies, etc. for vaccination, calling it Is Baar Sabke Liye Jagore. Research showed us that some film stars don't just have higher reach, but also a convincing power to make real changes. So we roped in a series of individuals like Ayushman Khurrana.
So it is our duty to spread the correct information and keep them protected as well by helping them get vaccinated.
Diya Mirza.
And take the pledge and find out how you can help your support staff individually on the Jagori website.
Fair D'Souza.
Log on to jagori.com and hit that button to pledge that you'll help one person or more than one person get vaccinated. I know I have.
And Bhumi Pednekar to spread this message far and wide.
Visit the link in bio, which is www.jagori.com/isbarsabkeliye and pledge your support to the cause.
Closer to home, homemakers are the first point of contact for all house help. So we partnered with mom influencers to encourage mass participation in the vaccination program. And finally, to bust all doubts and myths and seek cooperation, we also aligned with the micro-influencers. And the results were outstanding. We received abundant love on social media. We received more than 5,000 pledges and received a lot more love online. India's vaccination program was the biggest and the most effective one. It was a testimony of how we Indians came together to defeat a pandemic.
Last minute.
And we feel proud to have played a significant role during this crisis. Tata Tea is बार सबके लिए जागो रहे.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aditi. Okay. Next presentation. Entry ID is 4811 and the brand is Tata Tea Premium. Over to presenter.
Thank you. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
No, not yet.
Right. Is it visible now? Can
Yes.
somebody please confirm? All right. Thank
Are you ready? Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you so much.
Go ahead. Your time starts.
All right. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Akanksha, and today I will be presenting the case study, Desh Ka Cooler, saving artisans one cooler at a time. What comes to mind when you think about a hot steaming cup of tea? A steaming hot chai served in a cooler made from the clay at your neighborhood tea stall. But during the pandemic, these chai shops, their coolers, along with the makers of these coolers, the artisans, all disappeared. Our artisan community suffered the most. Millions of people lost their employment and their daily wages vanished. Without social or medical insurance, these artisans were struggling to even fulfill their most basic daily needs. Tata Tea Premium, a leading Indian tea brand, established a nationwide platform for the promotion of these artisans, calling it Desh Ka Cooler. The Desh Ka Cooler initiative provided a platform for these artisans to generate demand, create a financial forum, and revive their businesses. This dedicated Desh Ka Cooler microsite enabled the sale of hand-painted coolers by local artisans from across 26 states of the country. By simply scanning the QR code, anyone from anywhere could buy these coolers at an affordable price. As we roll under lockdown, we created our Desh Ka Cooler store with an immersive AR experience as to give people the same experience that of a physical store. To achieve maximum impact, we also adopted a hyperlocal strategy, using the might of regional media partners along with national media to reach every nook and corner of the country, wherever tea was being consumed. Basically, almost everywhere and everyone. This initiative for good wanted to reach out to every Indian with an emotion and only one endpoint, to revive the artisan community, with not a donation, but a validation of these artisans by buying their art. And that's how we saved the artisan community one cooler at a time. Let me now take you through an AV to showcase how we brought this campaign alive and the results.
Kullahars have always been an integral part of Indian culture. And for us, the Kullahars meant much more than just a clay cup. We wanted it to become a platform to support our proud artisan community that was severely impacted by the pandemic. Staying true to our identity as Desh Ki Chai, on the occasion of Independence Day, we launched a limited edition Desh Ka Kullar collection, comprising of 26 distinct Kullar designs, crafted with region-specific art forms like Madhubani folk art from Bihar, Warli art form from Maharashtra, G art from UP, Kalamkari from Andhra Pradesh, and so on. And to bring this alive, we partnered with Rare Planet, a startup that promotes the work of local Indian artisans. The proceeds of the sale of these exquisite hand-painted kullars were to help lend support to the struggling Indian artisan community. And to raise awareness for this initiative, we launched a national campaign led by a digital film.
मेरे देश की मिट्टी है प्यारे, बस मिट्टी नहीं कहलाती है। तुम्हारों के हाथ लगे मिट्टी सोना बन जाती है। देश के कोने कोने की कहानी ये सुनाती है। कला ये भांति भांति देखो देश की शान बढ़ाती है। पूरब पश्चिम उत्तर दक्षिण देश के हर एक कोने से।
तो इस बार जब देश फिर से आजादी का जश्न मनाए, आओ करें सम्मान उन कुम्हारों का जिन्होंने बनाया कि चाय का अजब प्याला। We set up a dedicated microsite for the sale of the kullars. An immersive AR experience enabled consumers to visualize and purchase the intricately designed kullars by scanning a QR code from the comfort of their homes. While extensive print ads encouraged people to take part in the cause. An expansive news coverage highlighted their stories across leading dailies. And for each Desh Ka Kulhar bought, we contributed an additional equal amount as support for our artisans. While the campaign was widely loved and appreciated, our most notable achievement lay in our efforts in bringing the story of our Indian artisan community to the center stage, all using a humble kulhar.
यह है देश की चाय का सलाम अपने देश की मिट्टी को।
देश की चाय का सलाम देश के कलाकारों को। We had a fantastic time bringing this campaign to life. Hope it fills your day with hope and happiness. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next presenter. The entry ID is 4831 and the brand is Sunlight.
Hi, please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Shall I begin?
Yeah, you can start. Your time starts now. All the best.
Thank you. I would like to ask everyone, were you able to recognize that sound? Have you ever heard it before? Most likely you wouldn't have. That was the sound of the hand loom, and it was slowly fading away. Good afternoon, jury members. I'm here to present a case that helped revive a dying art post-COVID, one that is deeply rooted in the humble villages of West Bengal. West Bengal stands out among other Indian states with a large number of looms and weaver households involved in commercial production. Handloom weaving, a traditional livelihood for many, relies on the process of body, rhythm, and skill of the weavers, depicting their life's narrative. A typical weaver usually takes up weaving at a very young age. A typical weaver works for more than 300 days a year. A typical weaver weaves more than 100 saris a year. And that typical weaver was now earning only 24,000 rupees in a year. Shocking, isn't it? Power looms, fake imitations, and label culture had already made the weaver's plight a sad tale. But COVID-19 worsened the situation. The pandemic and the lockdown caused massive disruption in all sectors, but the informal sector was the worst affected. The handloom industry is the second largest employer in the informal sector, and it was now engulfed in manifold problems. While measures were taken to revive the nation post-COVID, very little was done for this underrepresented community. It was a matter of grave concern for West Bengal, and its heritage was at stake. Sunlight, a 100-year-old detergent brand from the house of Unilever, reigns the market of West Bengal with over 60% sales coming in from the state. The brand's purpose is to enable people to bring back colors in their lives, and it depicts its communication through colorful saris. So the burning question was, how do we jog an entire state's memory about a forgotten piece of their culture? From this question emerged Sunlight Taterong, a campaign that connected these traditional weavers with fashion designer Parma Ghosh. Across the fashion industry, the masterpieces that these weavers created always came with a fashion label. But we created something that was about to change the $223 billion fashion industry for good. Let's take a look at how Sunlight partnered with this underrepresented community and helped them bounce back.
The 6 yards of an Indian sari signify pride and tradition for every woman. These iconic hand-woven saris from West Bengal take days to be stitched by a weaver and are sold globally at exorbitant prices by designer fashion labels. But the real artists, the handloom weavers, are left with poor wages and no credit for their work. Having an already low monthly income, it is now reduced to a mere $27 due to power looms and COVID. These weavers are facing extreme poverty and an entire generation that wants to let go of this artistry. Sunlight, a regional detergent brand with color guard technology, depicts its communication through colorful saris. With the brand purpose of enabling people to bring colors back into their lives, the largest shopping festival, Pujo, became the backdrop to revive the community of weavers. And with a clarion call was born Sunlight Tatirong, an initiative to bring colors back into the lives of these weavers by placing them at the center of the fashion industry. We created the world's first fashion label with ace designer Parma Ghosh, wherein the name of the weaver preceded that of the designer. These labels were stitched on more than 7,000 saris and were sold on the designer's e-com, becoming every weaver's social identity. The campaign was launched on TV and YouTube. What followed was monumental. Iconic women adorned the collection, including a national superstar. The Sunlight Pack became a window for the weavers to showcase their designs to 30 million households. Every media activation helped the weaver bring colors back into their lives. The weaver grew as the brand did. Weavers saw an increase in their monthly income by 7 times. The initiative weaved a brighter future for the weaving community in West Bengal.
Sunlight Taterong was not just a campaign, but a movement to uplift a community that was diminishing due to COVID. Not just including their name on the label, but also making sure it precedes the designers was a true testimony of the brand and the designer's focus on purpose and not profitability. The campaign received recognition across multiple platforms, including the prestigious Cannes Awards. But the real metric of success was beyond Excel sheets and reports. Allow me to show you what the real reward was.
আমার নাম ষষ্ঠী ঘোষ। আমার পরিবারে আমার 2 ছেলে, আমার স্ত্রী। এই আপনার কাজ এসে থেকে মোটামুটি এতদিন চলছিল। এই 2 বছরের লকডাউন হয়ে থেকে একটু কাজে খুব ডামাডোল যাচ্ছে। সানলাইট তাঁতি রং এসে আমাদের এখন কাজের খুব উদ্যোগ হয়েছে।
আপনারা এই ভিডিওটা যারা দেখছেন, এতগুলো মানুষের জন্য দেখছেন, যাতে তাদের তাঁত শিল্প বন্ধ না হয়, তাঁত বন্ধ না হয়, বাচ্চারা স্কুলে যেতে পারে এবং তাদের পরবর্তী প্রজন্ম এই কাজে আসতে পারে।
Sunlight Tatirong, along with Parma Ghosh, are still supporting the handloom weavers of West Bengal. I request all of you to head to www.parmacalcutta.com and help us bring colors in the lives of weavers, one sari at a time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Next presentation, the entry ID is 4832 and the brand is Vim Liquid. Over to presenter.
Yes, please.
Let me know once you are ready.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Okay. You can go ahead. Your time starts now. All the best.
Hello, I'm Shelja Bali, a homemaker. Believe me, I have gone from being an unworried woman to an obsessive compulsive person post-COVID. Need to admit, we are living in a very strange world. At least from the last 2 years, we have been. Let's agree that the COVID lockdown has been a harrowing experience for all of us, especially for us women. We had to manage not only our professional tasks, but also our household chores. Every woman in some capacity became a homemaker as she took charge of her house. But gosh, cleaning the house and doing the dishes were among the most taxing things to do. To make it worse, there was the scare of COVID being spread to my family. So everything had to be of impeccable hygiene. Then there was the added hassle of not having a maid. But in hindsight, I realized that not having a maid gave me complete control over the house and its hygiene. Hustling invariably became a big part of the daily routine, and that also meant having no time to de-stress. The little time I could find, I saw myself reaching out for my phone to unfind. It was my 10 minutes of a refreshing break to play a game or two. Apart from gaming, I was watching a lot of how-to videos on YouTube to manage my home better. And of course, I did connect with family and friends as going out was not an option. Each platform I saw had one underlying message: COVID response and hygiene. This is when I became aware about ways to keep my home germ-free. It made me the decision maker of the product that I use for dishwashing. And I invariably purchased a very trusted brand, Vim Antibac Liquid. The importance of fighting 99.9% bacteria has never been more relevant. Having bought Vim Antibac Liquid, I realized dishwashing could be hassle-free, just to my liking. Here is an AV validating exactly that.
Welcome to the life of an Indian woman. Hustling is a big part of her everyday, especially in the pandemic when she didn't have household help. And so is one more thing. Guess what? Sleeping? Nah. Chilling? Nah. It's gaming. Surprised? India ranked #1 in mobile games downloaded in 2020. In fact, about 95% of women are very active mobile gamers, spending roughly 2 hours playing on their smartphones. These were also somewhat her 10-minute breaks between tasks. Well, let's be honest, who likes household chores and washing utensils? Boring and tedious too. So, amid her multitasking, she invariably reached for her phone, which became her companion during her leisure time. The lockdown saw a staggering increase in media consumption, particularly in TV viewership, app download and usage, YouTube, social media, and game downloads. Behavioral economists observed 4 key trends among consumers during this lockdown. Considering these behavior traits, brands had to address 3 key themes. So, Vim brought out its new Vim Antibac Liquid with the power of neem, which fights 99.9% bacteria from utensils. The task was to appeal to this Indian woman in a fun way that scored high with her. Introducing Vim's #BeatTheBacteria, a game which targeted these very underrated scorers. It challenged these women to beat the bacteria of utensils with just a left and right swipe of Vim Antibac Liquid. The game was deployed across thousands of mobile gaming apps, most used by women in the age group of 25 to 45 years, across the top 5 metros. Instagram was activated to complement the #BeatTheBacteria messaging and promote the game in conjunction with YouTube to build reach for Vim Antibac's core proposition. The campaign reached 60% of mutually exclusive yet collectively exhaustive cohorts through precision targeting. While YouTube's top 20% HHI was used for scale, first-party data of consumers who expressed interest in using Vim Liquid were targeted to drive purchases. The approach on TV was to optimize and curate a channel mix of high-affinity time bands among the selected channels to build reach among an affluent audience segment, while long-tail channels were used to build frequency. The campaign knocked off the brand scoreboard through this multimedia approach. The game alone garnered over 15 million impressions, scored twice the engagement and a 50% plus click-through rate compared to industry standards. For a game of 30 seconds, she spent a whopping average of 3.5 minutes on it. The brand scored an uplift of 20% in brand awareness, a 7% uplift in brand consideration, and 92% of those who recalled the ad correctly stated the proposition. Vim Anti-Bac Liquid took dishwashing from boring to fun and reached out to the real players of India in a way that said, "Game on, woman."
The success of any campaign can be gauged by the impact it eventually has on business. Vim Anti-Bac Liquid managed to garner eyeballs and seamlessly capitalized on the in-app rewards, which is crucial for any gamer. The core message association of removes bacteria and viruses from my utensils went up by 180 basis points. The brand witnessed a sequential penetration increase of 110 basis points. An app measure of effective media deployment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. Okay, the next presentation. Entry ID 4803 and the brand is Castron.
Hi, just let me set up my screen.
Sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can I start?
Yeah, you can start. Your time starts now. All the best.
सलाम, मैं फैजल मैकेनिक। अपन अक्खा दिन गराज में गाड़ी और बाइक के रिपेयर में लगा रहता है। कभी इलेक्ट्रिकल प्रॉब्लम तो कभी कार ब्रेक इशू, कभी स्पार्क प्लग रिप्लेसमेंट तो मां कसम कभी इंजन ऑयल चेंज का काम। कार का बाइक का सारा काम कर लेता है मैं। आपको पता है कितना रिस्की और मेहनत वाला काम है। 2 बार तो अपन मौत को छूके टक से वापस आया है। अभी कितने कस्टमर लोग अपने पास आता है गाड़ी और बाइक की थकेली हालत लेकर। अभी अगर हम लोग उनका काम नहीं करेगा ना तो वो लोग अपने को धोएगा, अपना तेल निकालेगा। आप लोग को पता है कि इंडिया में 300 मिलियन से ज्यादा गाड़ी और बाइक रोड पे है और अपन अक्कीच पूरी इंडिया में 1 मिलियन मैकेनिक। सोचो जरा, लाइफलाइन है इस इंडस्ट्री का। अपने भाई लोग अपने को से गाड़ी और बाइक का डॉक्टर बुलाते हैं। अपने काम पे, अपने धंधे पे ना अपन सब काम पे सीखता है या अपने उस्ताद से, पर अब एक पैतरा नहीं सीखता। मां कसम, बड़े आदमी बनने का ट्रिक। अभी एक बात बताऊं आपको दिल से, हमारे मैकेनिक लोग जो है ना, उनके मेहनत के लिए अपने को तो रिस्पेक्ट मिलता ही नहीं है। और कोरोना महामारी ने ना सच में काम के तो वाट लगा दी है। अपन अपने भाई लोग के साथ ना सारा धंधा वंधा बंद करके अपने लोग घर चले गए कोविड-19 के टाइम पे। अभी आप लोग ही सोचो अपन कैसा आगे बढ़ेगा, कैसा स्किलिंग करेगा, कैसा बड़ा आदमी बनेगा। आप ही बताओ, माँ का, बाप का, बीवी का, बच्चों का कैसा ख्याल रखेगा रे तेरा फैजल। फिर मेरा दोस्त अब्दुल कार्बोरेटर मेरे को बोला कि कैस्ट्रॉल देश का नंबर 1 इंजन ऑयल ब्रांड ना धमाल मचा रहा है। अपन कार और बाइक मैकेनिक भाई लोग के लिए ना कॉन्टेस्ट बिनटेस्ट कर रहा है और देश का नंबर 1 कैस्ट्रॉल सुपर मैकेनिक ढूंढ रहा है। बहुत कार बाइक में सोचो। मैं बोला वाओ, और अब्दुल को पूछा हाउ। अब्दुल कार्बोरेटर अपने को बोला कि हमारी मेहनत को कैस्ट्रॉल जैसा बड़ा ब्रांड जो है ना वो सेलिब्रेट कर रहा है। कुछ फिजिटल मॉडल के बारे में भी अपने को बोला। अपन बोला अपन तो मॉडलिंग नहीं करता मां कसम। तो वो अपने को बोला कि खजूर मॉडलिंग नहीं, कैस्ट्रॉल लॉकडाउन होने के बाद भी अपन लोग को फिजिटल माने मोबाइल फोन के जरिए अपस्किल कर रहा है। टेक्नोलॉजी नॉलेज दे रहा है अपने को, और कॉन्टेस्ट बिंटेस्ट के जरिए कैस्ट्रॉल सुपर मैकेनिक बना रहा है। अभी सच्ची आपको बोलूं कि कस्टमर की गाड़ी में और बाइक में कैस्ट्रॉल ऑयल डालने का ये नॉलेज जो है अपन मैकेनिक ही उनको देता है ना, तो कैस्ट्रॉल जैसा बड़ा ब्रांड अपने बारे में सोचा, ये सुन के अपने को बहुत सही लगा, मां कसम। अभी कैस्ट्रॉल अपने क्या किया, अपने लिए क्या किया आपको दिखाएगा अभी। पर एक चीज आपको बताना है कि लोग को लगता है ना कि अपन मैकेनिक लोग मोबाइल पे नहीं सीख सकता, पर कैस्ट्रॉल जैसे ब्रांड ने बता दिया कि अपन पब्लिक जो है ना वो मोबाइल फर्स्ट पब्लिक है। अभी आप लोग एवी देखो।
With over 300 million vehicles on road, its wear and tear is managed by the over 1 million mechanic community, who are also the faith drivers of the engine oil category. Sadly, these faith drivers have little faith to.
We can't see the
We
EV.
can't. Yeah, we can't see the AV.
As there is no.
And the slides also not moving. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The slides.
Where is it stuck? Let me reshare my screen. Hold on. Can you see? Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Not a full screen. Yeah.
Floater windows, please hide the floaters as well. Zoom floaters. Floater control. Yeah.
Should I play the AV? Have you seen the presentation or did it stop midway?
Please play the AV.
With over 300 million vehicles on road, its wear and tear is managed by the over 1 million mechanic community, who are also the faith drivers of the engine oil category. Sadly, these faith drivers have little faith to deal with their pride of profession, as there is no formal training certification to build respect and credibility for themselves. Castrol, India's leading engine oil brand, built its own IP, a super mechanic contest, extending its commitment towards upskilling and uplifting the mechanic community. In partnership with the Automotive Skill Development Council, we created a specially designed curriculum covering new age vehicle diagnostics, digital tools for next generation vehicles, and BS6 technology. With the COVID-19 pandemic and heavy lockdown restrictions across the country, where majority of these mechanics were moving back to their hometowns, making them less accessible, the Castrol Super Mechanic Contest undertook a first-of-a-kind digital model approach, where the mechanics' mobile phones became the new tool of imparting knowledge. Themed around Seekhenge, Jeetenge, Badhenge, we built a 6-month-long skilling and engagement program with TV9, India's largest news network. In Phase 1, a launch segment played across TV9 network where eminent personalities from the brand and industry flagged this digital initiative.
Is it possible for me to restart, please? I think no one saw the slides.
Yeah, the slides were not synchronized.
Can I present
You can just start the presentation from the starting.
Yeah, sorry about this.
Sorry, juries.
1 minute.
Nitin?
Yeah, I am restarting the time.
Yes, yeah.
Just let me know if the slides are visible and are they moving for you?
Then just start the presentation so we can tell you.
I'm just moving the slides once to just check. Is it moving?
No.
No. Just a moment, Abhimanyu. Yeah.
Is it moving now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's moving. But on top you have this floater controls, right? That's just hide the controls. On the more option, you get the option to hide the controls.
Where is this more? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Which one do I have to click?
Hide the floater controls.
There's no floater control there.
Zoom.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Hide that and click on the presentation once and move.
Now again, the presentation is stuck.
Yeah, you just have to click on that once.
Yeah, now it's moving.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. You guys can see me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Start
you.
the presentation.
Yes. Salam. Apun Faisal, mechanic. अपन अक्खा दिन गैराज में गाड़ी और बाइक का रिपेयर में लगा रहता है. कभी इलेक्ट्रिकल प्रॉब्लम तो कभी कार ब्रेक इशू, कभी स्पार्क प्लग रिप्लेसमेंट तो मां कसम कभी इंजन ऑयल चेंज का काम. कार का बाइक का सारा काम कर लेता है मैं. पता है कितना मेहनत और रिस्की काम है. 2 बार तो अपन मौत को छू के टक से वापस आया है. अभी कितने कस्टमर लोग आते हैं अपनी गाड़ी और बाइक को थकेली हालत में लेकर अभी उनका काम ठीक से नहीं करेगा तो वो लोग अपना ही तेल निकाल देगा। आप लोगों को पता है कि इंडिया में 300 मिलियन से ज्यादा गाड़ी और बाइक रोड पे है और अपन अक्खी इंडिया में सिर्फ 1 मिलियन मैकेनिक। सोचो जरा, लाइफलाइन है अपन इस इंडस्ट्री का। भाई लोग अपने को गाड़ी और बाइक का डॉक्टर बुलाते हैं, माँ कसम। अपने धंधे में अपन सब कुछ काम पे ही सीखता है या अपने उस्ताद से, पर एक पैतरा नहीं सीखता बड़ा आदमी बनने का ट्रिक। अभी सच बताओ आपको दिल से, अपने मैकेनिक भाई लोग जो है ना, उन्हें बिल्कुल रिस्पेक्ट मिलता ही नहीं है यार अपने प्रोफेशन में। और कोरोना महामारी ने ना तो धंधे की वाटें लगा दी, माँ कसम। अपन अपने भाई लोग के साथ दुकान बिकान बंद करके वापस लौटने लगा कोरोना के टाइम पे, पता है आपको। अभी आप ही बताओ, इस सब के बीच में आप कैसे सीखेगा, कैसे स्किलिंग करेगा, कैसा बड़ा आदमी बनेगा? आप ही बताओ, माँ का, बाप का, बेटे का, बच्चों का, सबका कैसा ख्याल रखेगा रे तेरा फैजल? फिर मेरा दोस्त अब्दुल कार्बोरेटर मेरे को बोला कि कैस्ट्रॉल इंडिया लीडिंग इंजन ऑयल ब्रांड धमाल मचा रहा है, कुछ कॉन्टेस्ट विंटेस्ट कर रहा है अपने मैकेनिक भाइयों के लिए, कार बाइक मैकेनिक भाइयों के लिए, और इंडिया का नया कैस्ट्रॉल सुपर मैकेनिक ढूंढ रहा है। अपन बोला वाओ, पर अपन अब्दुल को पूछा हाउ। अब्दुल बोला कि कैस्ट्रॉल बड़ा इंजन ऑयल ब्रांड है, बहुत बड़ा इंजन ऑयल ब्रांड है, और वो कुछ डिजिटल मॉडल के बारे में भी अपन को बोला। अपन बोला अपन तो मॉडलिंग करता नहीं है भाई, पर वो बोला अरे भाई खुजूर, कैस्ट्रॉल अपने मैकेनिक भाई लोग का ना मेहनत को सेलिब्रेट कर रहा है। वो कोरोना महामारी के टाइम पे, लॉकडाउन के महामारी के टाइम पे भी डिजिटल यानी मोबाइल फोन के जरिए अपने को अपस्किल कर रहा है, अपने को टेक्नोलॉजिकल नॉलेज दे रहा है, और कॉन्टेस्ट के जरिए कैस्ट्रॉल सुपर मैकेनिक बना रहा है। अपन बोला कि भाई देखो, कस्टमर की गाड़ी और बाइक में कैस्ट्रॉल ऑयल जाने का है, ये नॉलेज भी अपन ही देता है ना कस्टमर को, तो अपने को अच्छा लगा कि कैस्ट्रॉल जैसा बड़ा ब्रांड अपने लिए सोचता है। अभी कैस्ट्रॉल ने क्या अपने लोग के लिए किया ना अपन दिखाता है, पर एक चीज आप लोग को बताता है कि लोगों को लगता है ना कि अपन मोबाइल फोन पे नहीं सीख सकता, पर अपन मैकेनिक लोग ना एकदम मोबाइल फर्स्ट वाला बंदा है। अभी आप ये भी देखो।
With over 300 million vehicles on road, its wear and tear is managed by the over 1 million mechanic community, who are also the faith drivers of the engine oil category. Sadly, these faith drivers have little faith to deal with their pride of profession, as there is no formal training certification to build respect and credibility for themselves. Castrol, India's leading engine oil brand, built its own IP, a super mechanic contest, extending its commitment towards upskilling and uplifting the mechanic community. In partnership with the Automotive Skill Development Council, we created a specially designed curriculum covering new age vehicle diagnostics, digital tools for next generation vehicles, and BS6 technology. With the COVID-19 pandemic and heavy lockdown restrictions across the country, where majority of these mechanics were moving back to their hometowns, making them less accessible, the Castrol Super Mechanic Contest undertook a first-of-a-kind digital model approach, where the mechanics' mobile phones became the new tool of imparting knowledge. Themed around Seekhenge, Jeetenge, Badhenge, we built a 6-month-long skilling and engagement program with TV9, India's largest news network. In Phase 1, a launch segment played across TV9 network where eminent personalities from the brand and industry flagged this phygital initiative. Celebrities and inspiring past winners called for maximum participation through TV, radio and outdoor. In Phase 2, through an IVR-based fastest finger first contest, mobile-friendly microsite, thematic mobile games, knowledge infographics, mechanics from across the country participated. As a first, we created 3D-based upskilling masterclass sessions on the microsite through virtual simulations of bike and cars to further enhance learning, followed by doubt-clearing sessions. Out of multiple rounds with over 140,000 mechanics, the top 8 went through a live studio round, which was telecasted on TV and digital. The top 2 winners were awarded the coveted title of Castrol Super Mechanic Car and Bike respectively, telecasted as a 30-minute episode on TV9 National News Channel. The Castrol Super Mechanic Contest showed massive success, with more than 140,000 mechanics participating from across India. The campaign received over 1 million call-ins. A total of 24,000 mechanics were skilled via the virtual masterclass. Over 6,000 mechanics overall participated in the live doubt clearing session. The brand, through this campaign, was also able to achieve a very high NPS score of 70, with the initiative being highly appreciated by the Union Minister of Skill Development and Education, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan.
कैस्ट्रॉल को एक ही बार धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा कि सभी हमारे मैकेनिक भाइयों के लिए एक अच्छा ऐसा इनिशिएटिव बनाया और ऐसा एक प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया कि जिसके चलते हम अपने टैलेंट को प्रूव कर सकते हैं।
जब से हम कैस्ट्रोल से जुड़े हैं तब से हमें इन्होंने ट्रेनिंग दी है और उससे हमें ये पता लगा कि हम सही काम कैसे कर सकते हैं और अब वो हम कर रहे हैं।
एक आम मैकेनिक को यहाँ तक लेकर आने में बहुत बड़ा योगदान कैस्ट्रोल ने दिया है। मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ कैस्ट्रोल का कि उन्होंने यह प्रोग्राम चलाया और मैकेनिकों को सम्मान दिलाया।
Castrol Super Mechanic Contest created greater respect and pride that independent mechanics rightfully deserved in their profession. A platform to constantly inspire them to upgrade their knowledge and skill in line with changing industry standards.
मजा आ गया सच में। कैस्ट्रॉल सुपर मैकेनिक बन के कभी कभी लगता है तो अपोनिच मैकेनिक लोग का भगवान है। अभी अपन चलता है, अपनी मशीन अपने को बुला रही है। थैंक यू।
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. So we are moving to the next category. So can we have 2 minutes break?
Yeah. Yeah, we can start. Smita, can you announce the next presentation?
Sure. Okay. The next category is Best Media Research Analytics, Best Media Research using existing data. First presentation, entry ID is 3105 and the brand is Himalaya Face Wash. Over to presenter.
Are you ready?
Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
It's the presenter's mode.
Still the presenter's mode?
No, not. Okay. You can start. Your time starts from the rest.
Yes. Risk, unfortunately, is a reality in all our lives. And it is very, very important, be it war or be it business, to be able to assess threats and the risk that it poses to us on an ongoing basis. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Upali, and I'm here to present Himalaya Face Wash from the military world to the marketing world, the risk threat matrix, in the category Best Media Research using existing data. So what was the situation that we were in? We were a market leader in a category which was penetrated only 25%. Therefore, what that meant is that there was a huge headroom for growth, and it was very, very attractive for competition to enter the category. While as a leader, our task was to grow the category across the country, there were certain territories which promised more success and more growth than others. And these lucrative territories were what was a very, very strong competitor with deep pockets attacked. However, what we knew from a very, very deep understanding and our experience of the battlefield was that not all territories were the same. And hence, we needed different strategies to combat competition in each of these different territories differently, as against the typical marketing way of approaching markets by BDI, CDI, and so on. So the rules of battle had changed, and we knew that what worked till now would not work anymore. We had to innovate. And so we looked for inspiration beyond the marketing world. And we found that inspiration in the military world. We drew from the strategies that the US Air Force had devised during World War II. They had devised a mechanism to assess threat and the risk posed by enemies to create strategies to win. And thus was born the threat risk matrix. The threat risk matrix is an intersection of two variables. On the x-axis, what we have is the level of threat as well as the likelihood of that threat happening. And on the y-axis, we had the impact that threat would have to us, which is the risk impact. And both of these were categorized into low, medium, and high to arrive at a matrix. But how did we adapt a military concept to marketing and media? So we looked at an enmeshing of multiple data sources. We looked at market contribution, growth of our competitor, category growth, the potential consumer base, our own brand's growth, competitors' distribution, our market share, SOV, SOEs, distribution, and so on. And we also looked at certain past data and models which we had created in the past. And we created a framework to assess threat and risk. Threat assessment essentially is the degree of external threats to our brand, and we used 4 variables to assess this. What is the relative competitive media activity as against our brand? What is the market share of our own brand vis-a-vis competition? What is the competitor's relative distribution versus us? And what is the relative growth of competitive brand versus our own brand? The risk assessment was broken down into 2 levels. One was, what was the business potential this territory offered, which was driven by the market category salience? And secondly, how strong were we there? What was the strength of our brand? We assessed that through a ratio of BDI-CDI, our brand growth versus the category growth, and our own market share. And we computed this separately for 15 different territories. But in order to do that, we had to normalize it to a single base. So we computed a threat index and we computed a risk index, giving weightages to each of these variables. Now, these weightages were determined using past data and past models which we had used, but we had to adjust those because the battlefield had changed and the battlefield was much, much more intense. So the risk threat matrix with the territories here, and we've mapped all the territories, all the 15 territories. And it was no surprise to us that the territories where the enemy was firing the biggest guns were the ones which were at highest threat and highest risk. However, from an actionability perspective, it was difficult to create strategies for 15 different territories. So hence we clustered it into 4 clusters. High threat, high risk, medium threat, high risk, high threat, medium or low risk, and medium low threat, medium risk. Now this matrix was like a radar, which guided us towards devising different strategies and rule books to fight the battles across the different territories. As a leader, we deployed a 3-pronged strategy, which was to challenge ourselves, to create entry barriers, and to act rapidly. However, we applied it differently to the different clusters. And keeping in view confidentiality here, I'll just take you through the top lines of what we did. So in this matrix, we deployed all three strategies. So we introduced a portfolio approach, we changed our pricing strategy, we had 360 media with increased thresholds, and we deployed micro market strategies. Here we deployed two of the three approaches, where we adapted our communication and we changed our pricing strategy. Here we increased the shelf space and did some regional strategies to create entry barriers so that they don't move to the left side in the medium to the long-term future. And the last quadrant is where we just maintained the status quo and didn't do much. So we fought this war, and we fought this war with precision for 6 months. And did this make us win the war? So here are the results. Across all the four quadrants and across all the four clusters, when we compared our market share and indexed it of this 6 months and indexed it to the market share of the previous year, we either held or we grew market share across markets from a range of 100 to 150, 125 across. And today, this has become a rule book for the brand. Today, we do an ongoing risk threat assessment regularly on a monthly basis, and we look at markets and territories and where they're moving, and we adapt our strategies through the movements of the markets through the matrix. What this also does is this serves as an early warning signal to us so that we can adapt our strategies before those markets become a high risk. So the general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. And that is exactly what we did. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next presentation. The entry ID is 3102 and the brand is Byju's Classes. Over to presenter.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
And is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah, your time starts now. All the best.
Thank you. Right. Hi, I'm Deepa, and I'm here to present the research work we did for Byju's, a magical piece of work which helped us shift paradigms and conversation for India's favorite medium, television. COVID has been one of the biggest disruptor that we have seen in the recent past. For Byju's, however, this disruption has been a great disruption. We witnessed an accelerated growth for online coaching, resulting in an organic growth for Byju's as a platform as well. This was a great news, but not for us as a media partner. This growth fueled a different set of questions in the minds of Byju's management. To begin with, the role of media itself was under the radar, especially TV, which constituted to the bulk of the spends. Clearly, the role of TV was getting marginalized in the era of performance. While as a team, we were very, very confident about the medium, our conviction had to be backed by the proof of data. And M was the only solve for the above set of questions. However, it had become obsolete due to the market disruption that happened at that point in time. So we had to reinvent a M, which was more real-time and more adaptive in nature. So what do we mean by reinventing the M? So in theory, we took cues from the spillover elasticity. Now, it sounds extremely complex, right? But in simple terms, it simply means that how seemingly unrelated incidents are getting connected and how one can trigger effect on the other one. In our case, COVID forced parents to accept online education, which was not the norm pre-COVID. So COVID and online education somehow got connected, and who could imagine that, right? So how did we use the spillover elasticity onto TV spend? We did it by connecting TV spend to app download here. So how did we go about doing this entire journey, right? So to begin with, we had to first crack step 1, which was the data stack. We had to align 3 data stack to plot this spillover elasticity model. Number 1, NCERT data to understand the growth segment that existed in our country. Number 2, viewership data from BAC, because we're talking television here. Number 3, daily app downloads data from Byju's by each minute. Now, laying this fast and slow moving data in itself in a unified timeline was a great task. Moving on, this was step 2. In step 2, we were trying to measure the response lift or the opportunity window that existed. We created 1,000+ simulations for each campaign spot to observe the install response rate. And for us, this opportunity window turned out to be about 8 minutes. So once we quantified this opportunity window of 8 minutes, we created an algorithm that would attribute the install to that one ad spots. But it doesn't stop here. The complexity only increases. Now, coming to the biggest complexity, how should we differentiate the impact of overlapping spots across different reach curves and markets, right? So because let's be real, it's not that every spot will be aired after 8 minutes. And especially when you have such a big basket of channels in every plan in every month. So there existed an overlap window that we had to take into account into our algorithm in order to isolate and ensure that fair attribution to each spot has happened, right? Let me show an AV to you, which will bring alive the process and the magic we created to bring about this paradigm shift. Okay, so I think I did not, 1 second, sorry guys. I think I did not share it with the sound.
Yeah, don't worry, I paused you back.
Yeah, here.
Presenting the research work we undertook for Byju's, which helped us shift conversation and paradigm. While the whole world was disrupted by COVID, effect on online education was favorable. The hitherto resistance to online coaching suddenly transformed into accelerated growth like never before. All of this resulted in faster adoption of the Byju's learning app. But this inorganic growth posed a different kind of concern. Byju's management team started questioning the need for TV altogether. In the performance era, the role of TV was getting marginalized. Questions were posed challenging TV's efficacy. This famous quote summarized the situation, and our challenge was not only to answer it, but to also quantify the role of TV. We could not use MMM as it relied on slow-moving methods. We needed a model which was real-time and dynamic. We took our cue from spillover elasticity. Spillover elasticity is a concept from psychology. It is widely used in macroeconomics. The spillover effect is when an event in a country has a ripple effect on the economy of another, usually more dependent country. In our case, COVID forced parents to accept online education for their children, which used to be the biggest category barrier. So how did we deploy spillover elasticity for our purpose? We aligned 3 data stacks to plot this spillover elasticity model. Laying this on timeline data was an important step as we were fusing a combination of fast and slow-moving data. The 3 data stacks were business, media, consumer. All this helped to tap into potential and untapped markets. We used each TV spot, program, time band, channel, and genre as random incidents for a definitive action, which in our case was app downloads. Unlike digital, for TV we have to take a probabilistic approach. We started with the hypothesis that as soon as a consumer is exposed to a television spot, there would be a response lift. This could be in the form of internet searches, website visits, app engagements, or surges in app download. We were specifically seeking to quantify TV advertising with app downloads. We created 1,000 plus simulations from each campaign spot to observe the download response curve. We found a clear visible lift in download volume after an ad spot was aired. This was the opportunity window. In our case, this opportunity window was for 8 minutes. Once we quantified the opportunity window, we created an algorithm to attribute downloads to our ad spots. There were many factors to consider while building the algorithm. Each ad spot would have a different reach basis market potential and thus a different response rate. Ad spots cast simultaneously on multiple channels made fair attribution a complex affair. Creating multiple simulations would make costs unviable. Our algorithm was designed to isolate each spot's attribution while taking these factors into consideration. Using our algorithm, we isolated organic and inorganic download traffic. We bifurcated markets as most potential and receptive to download after exposure to advertising, attributing each spot by genre, channel, and time band directly onto output. Going beyond awareness index of a creative, we correlated creative efficacy to download. Our dynamic algorithm gave us real-time data and allowed us to adapt our TV plans every 3 days. The results were encouraging. Our algorithm and modeling helped us move the conversation from reach frequency and CPRP to CPD or cost per download. Planning optimization basis download helped us drive ROAS to the tune of 35%. We conclusively established that TV positively yielded 2 to 3 times of their performance campaign. We saw 5x growth through newer geographies and audiences. This research reinstated the efficacy of TV as a performance medium, following which Byju's increased TV budget by nearly 60%.
So, reiterating certain important shifts here and how this model helped us change the entire conversation. So from CPRPs to CPDs, which is cost per download, from questioning the TV budget and readily increasing it by 60%, from a reach frequency plan optimization to a ROAS-driven plan optimization, and conclusively, where we established that TV positively yielded for 2 to 3x of the overall performance campaigns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Next presentation. The entry ID is 3115, agency research. Over to presenter.
Hi, is my screen visible without the presenter notes?
Oh, yeah, the blank screen, it's just black screen.
Is the slide visible now?
Sorry?
Is my slide visible?
No, we can just see the black screen, that's it. Yeah.
So I'll begin.
The Zoom floaters are active on your screen.
Sorry. Is it gone now?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can start. Your time starts now.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Shrikant Shenoy, and I'd like to share with you a presentation on Celebrity Endorsement Fit Framework, a guide to planning celebrity endorsement for brands. Mr. Marketer had questions. Who was the best celebrity to endorse his brand? Was Tiger Shroff a better fit than Varun Dhawan? Was it better to try out some of our emerging Olympians like Neeraj Chopra instead of an established name like PV Sindhu? Celebrity endorsements that started as a trickle in the 1980s account for a market of over $200 billion today, and 45% of television advertising volume in India. Around 50% of endorsements in India feature celebrities, as compared to around 20% in the United States. Film stars dominate the Indian celebrity endorsement industry, followed by sportspersons. So it was one of the biggest cost items on Mr. Marketer's spending list. Celebrity endorsements typically operate in the range of 7 to 10 CR for top-rated celebrities. Clearly big stakes. However, the effectiveness of celebrity endorsement has always been a question. Memorability is certainly achieved. 79% to 86% of people remember the celebrity in the campaign, but the impact on buying decision fluctuates between 3% and 74%. Celebrity indexes currently available are generalized and targeted at the mass market. They provide a standard rating for celebrities which has nothing to do with brand fit or relevance. They are focused on quantitative or hard factors rather than qualitative or soft metrics. The focus is usually on awareness and desirability rather than purchase. Cost effectiveness is difficult to measure. Therefore, our goal was clear: to devise a research-based tool to measure celebrity power, as well as the relevance and fit of the celebrity with the brand, based on an exhaustive evaluation of both hard and soft factors. The tool also had to be able to calculate and map return on investment. Introducing CEF, Celebrity Endorsement Fit Framework. The framework brings together both quantitative analysis that measures celebrity influence over audiences and brand attributes, and qualitative analysis that defines celebrity persona in consumer perception to measure brand affinity. Hard metrics module, or the quantitative analytics module, was based on data from demographics, social media and web KPIs, and industry-specific success KPIs. Factor analysis and principal component analysis techniques were used to measure celebrities based on clout, authority among audiences, social presence, popularity, likability, industry success, and cost. However, the key to brand fit lay in the soft analysis that measured celebrity persona through the lens of brand affinity. This tapped into both into unstructured data sources like conversations related to the celebrity on social media, current endorsements, category-related mentions, using natural language processing, NLP, and correspondence analysis. It measured celebrity association with brand attributes, the role of sentiment and emotions, and provided the planner with a reliable research-based metric to select a celebrity for brand endorsement. A quick look at quantitative analysis, or the hard metrics. This involved listing of all the quantitative KPIs and normalization of data sourced from different platforms. Principal component analysis measures the degree contribution of each variable to the overall variance of the data set, identifies the core factors by transforming data, and derives the factor importance of weights used to combine different variables. The core attributes were unified into a single PCA index. Qualitative analysis, on the other hand, focused on the thematic fit of the celebrity with the brand attributes. This involved data classification, building the taxonomy database, and the learning modules that mapped keywords and phrases and their frequency against themes. Natural language processing, NLP, was used to map brand attributes. Finally, a celebrity versus theme frequency matrix was generated. Bringing the two together, so the unified PCA index data was combined with the frequency matrix. Correspondence analysis mapped the strength of association of each celebrity with the core attributes overlaid with the PCA index. Euclidean distance of celebrities from each attribute node was used to rank celebrities. Euclidean distance was also mapped against acquisition cost. Shorter the Euclidean distance and lower the cost, stronger the fit. So Mr. Marketer turned to CEF to identify the best fit celebrity to endorse brand Mobil, a lubricants brand. 4 attributes defined the brand DNA for Mobil. 1, protector; 2, making a difference; 3, transformative or change agent; and 4, appealing to the masses. Let's take a look at some interesting findings from CEF. We executed CEF modules to select the best fit for Mobil from a pool of celebrities across the key interests genre, cinema. PCA analysis identified 4 factors that drove a star's popularity. industry ranking, organic search, social media influence, and social media buzz. So it was clear that 2 of the top 4 factors were all about social media presence. Clearly, when it came to popularity, movie stars today were not only measured in terms of their ability to deliver at the box office, but also the quality of interaction with fans on social media. Qualitative analysis mapped social imagery. Conversations around the celebrity were analyzed. We found that past endorsements had now become part of the celebrity's DNA. Tiger Shroff enjoyed a higher quantum of automobile category conversations after his role as brand ambassador for Kia Seltos, the launch of which was still fresh in public popular memory. Compared to Tiger, other celebrities like, say, Ayushmann Khurrana had no automobile category presence in their imagery, which meant that any automobile brand which associates with him will have to build endorsement imagery from scratch. Brand attributes were analyzed to measure association with the celebrity. Besides the initial 4, attributes energy and performance were added due to high volumes of conversations around them. This was the learning for Brand Mobile and the potential space to evolve its imagery into. Based on Euclidean distance of celebrities from key attributes, stars Dhanush, Prabhas, and Tiger Shroff led the celebrity lineup. Besides high brand fit, Dhanush and Tiger Shroff enjoyed low cost, putting both in the ideal quadrant. While Tiger was an easy choice to address Hindi-speaking and Hindi cinema-consuming markets, Dhanush was also an interesting option to reach the new and growing audience for South cinema across other markets. CEF also enabled our clients to evaluate endorsement potential and identify opportunities in other areas like sports that deliver comparable endorsement value at a low attractive cost. Based on Euclidean distance from brand attributes and relative cost, CEF recommended Olympians Neeraj Chopra, Manu Bakar, and Mirabai Chanu over the established sportsperson PV Sindhu. Clients now had a scientific research-based tool to select celebrities for brand endorsement capable of measuring ROI. Adopting CEF improved campaign ROI by 2.5x. CEF-based planning reduced exorbitant celebrity fees by 24% compared to regular celebrity endorsement plans. Conversations around the brand increased by an average of 1.7x. Lower funnel metrics like purchase intent went up by 25%. CEF factors in the right category cues to identify the best fit celebrity for endorsement. Shraddha Kapoor outscored others as the perfect match for Hershey's Kisses chocolate. Compact SUV Tata Nexon found the best connect with KL Rahul, while Blue Star air conditioners aligned with Virat Kohli. Every CEF plan delivered consistently higher ROI than regular celebrity endorsement plans. So CEF is now part of our celebrity planning toolkit that no brand can operate without. Thank you.
Last minute. Thank you.
Are we done?
Thanks. Okay.
We have one more, sir.
One more.
The last presentation of this category of the session. The entry ID is 3128 and the brand is Mahindra & Mahindra. Over to this presenter.
You have not shared the sound.
Yeah. Am I visible? Is the screen visible and am I audible?
Yes. Yes, but
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chinky Das, and my presentation today is about our tool Demand Forecaster, designed to predict market responsiveness for new product categories. Electric vehicles, smart TVs, wearables, mobile apps, neobanks, mobile wallets. The list of categories that did not even exist a few years ago is growing. And with that, the dilemma before new age marketers forced to invest in developing categories with little or no historical experience or benchmarks. Our client Mahindra & Mahindra was set to launch the all-electric XUV 400 in the compact SUV segment. However, we knew we were entering unexplored territory. The questions were many. Should we invest in category development, and if yes, how much? Was a traditional big budget launch required, or would a soft launch suffice? Is the consumer purchase journey here the same as that for a regular compact SUV? Which markets should we focus on? Should we concentrate on Q4 like regular launches, or does a different seasonality operate in the electric world? Our answer was Demand Forecaster, a tool designed for new age categories, capable of forecasting demand and sales based on historical trends, preparing the marketing blueprint, and setting guidelines for launching brands. Demand Forecaster scripted the launch blueprint for XUV 400, taking into account multiple factors influencing the category. These factors were shortlisted, analyzed, processed through multiple exploratory tests and machine learning techniques to develop a high accuracy model to predict demand and sales. The process started with mining data from an exhaustive list of sources like industry reports, government data, syndicated databases, and our past learnings. Over 20 macro and micro factors were considered including subsidies provided by states in India, infrastructure of public charging stations, fuel prices, number of smart power grids, and relevant keyword searches. The data was analyzed through multiple exploratory tests. Augmented Dickey-Fuller test and Granger causality test were applied to verify if input time series variable is translating into output time series variable. ARIMA technique was used to carry out iterations to get base time series forecasting. Varmax was used to test multivariate time series model. Machine learning techniques based on Python were used to optimize models to deliver as high as 96% accuracy. Contrast that to 70 to 80% accuracy that conventional modeling delivers. We put our model to test. The ARIMA plus multivariate regression model estimated 15% contribution from media and predicted sales value within 3% of actual sales. Principal component analysis modeling was applied to address the challenge of 20 exploratory variables with higher intercorrelation. Data reduction techniques identified keyword search volumes as a factor and further boosted accuracy to 75.75%. Our model identified the leading controllable and uncontrollable factors driving demand. Consumer interest and marketing spends were the top controllable factors. Fuel prices, demand for lithium, and government policy were the key uncontrollable factors. Let's take a look at some insights based on these factors. We know that conventional purchase journey in auto lasts around 6 months. The regular auto market had a complex universe of brands, sub-brands across multiple segments and price points. However, modeling for lag effect told us that it was much shorter when it came to EVs, only around 3 months. The current EV market is simpler than regular auto. Having limited brand and variant options meant that consumer did not have much to research upon once the decision to purchase an EV had been made. Q4, the months of Jan to March are the months when sales peak for regular auto brands, drawing a disproportionate share of marketing spends. However, the electric market is dominated by early adopters who want to be first on board, irrespective of the time of the year. The need to buy in Q4 to get good value at the time of resale is not a big concern. Novelty is priority. Which were the best markets? We found the markets offering subsidies on EV purchase were rewarded with high sales. However, the number of charging stations offered still greater attraction to buyers. Range anxiety was clearly a big concern, and the more the charging stations, the lower the barrier to purchase. Charging stations had a higher sensitivity to influence demand than subsidies. Batteries are the critical component in EVs and also the one where innovation is constantly in the news. Any breakthrough in delivering higher range or developing more durable batteries with longer life encourages EV purchase. Tata Nexon had a head start in India's EV market and has kept the sales momentum going with variants offering higher range. Prices of petrol, diesel, and crude oil influence consumer demand, especially when they cross a psychological threshold of 0.7x, above the average fuel price in a market. Cars in the price-sensitive segments like hatchbacks and entry sedans are dominated by petrol. This consumer is more likely to switch to electric when petrol prices rise. Lithium is the key component in the current generation of electric car batteries. The ability to mine and procure lithium easily, both in terms of access and pricing, gives manufacturers the ability to pass on benefits to consumers, cut delivery time, and innovate. Based on learnings derived from response curves of past launches in electric cars and other new age categories, the ideal marketing budget for an EV launch ranged between 18 crore and 22 crore. This made it possible to calibrate our money to the target level of unit sales and avoid excess spending. The result? Demand forecaster resulted in 1.6 higher leads to inquiries ratio by targeting high response markets and 32% savings versus conventional launch plan. Demand forecaster delivered the perfect launch for XUV 400. The compact SUV made history by achieving over 10,000 bookings in just 4 days over the Republic Day weekend. Growing demand has extended the waiting period to almost 7 months. XUV 400 is set to take its place among the most visible cars on our roads. Over 20,000 units expected by the end of the year. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, we are done with the day, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, jury members. May I request for any comments that you have on the online sessions that you have had? Not pinpointing any outstanding presentation or a presentation which you didn't like or something like that, but in general, how was the session?
Hi, Bipin. Thank you for this opportunity. I think I have been here for 2-3 times, and I think we are just improving year on year. So that is something that I really wanted to appreciate, time wise, process wise, and the modularity of it and everything. So I'm just observing progress every year, which is good news, I think.
So sweet of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sanketa.
Hi,
Anyone else? Hi.
Abhijit from HDFC.
Yes.
So this is my first time as final round jury.
Okay.
Very well managed. I had apprehensions that how will we do 18 in 3 hours, but I think kudos to you and your team in the sheer way you managed this while it being an online session. And as usual, informative, fun, lots to learn, lots to hear. Hope to see you people on 10th of March and see who wins.
Yes, we want to free the jury members also, because Saturday is, as it is a holiday, and there are case study presentations, there is heavy duty focus required. So at 7 o'clock, people are free to pour their first drink of single malt.
Thanks, Bipin. So I'm Aniket. I'm from Delhi. So I think for people who are not based out of Mumbai, an online session gives an opportunity to attend and participate. So it is really well managed. So it doesn't feel like there's any glitter, any challenge. So everything starting from giving us information when to join, how to join, everything was done and managed really well. So kudos to the whole team.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?